Hi, welcome to the True Mouse Games YouTube channel and to another episode of our D&D campaign, The Lost Island of Rovea. This is session 18. Yes, it is session 18. I am aware that we are missing session 17. Sadly, the last time we played, we could not record due to some technical issues. If you are watching this on YouTube, you have missed the session, sadly. However, I will do my best to tell you what happened during this last session. So when you have seen our heroes last, they had just been preparing to, or had just left Thornshire in the company of Agon, the half-orc, the ex-pirate, who they persuaded to help them out in a fight against other pirates. His adopted father, basically, Jishum Dragonshard, the leader of the Bloodcliff Pirates, who has, with his men and this strange and supposedly quite dangerous elven wizard, blood mage by the name of Demaris, who has attacked the northern fishing villages on the island of Rovea, has taken a lot of captives, and is preparing to sacrifice them in some blasphemous ritual in the next night of the full moon, which is, as we are speaking, in 4 days, so not much time left. However, our player characters traveled on to the Stormplanes, and they tried to make contact with the Windhoof centaur tribe that rules the Stormplanes. They made a big fire, and they attracted some unwelcome attention from the Ashlands, weird snake-like fire beings coming out of the Ashlands in the northwest of the island. They were beaten by our heroes and Agon, helping them in a fairly short fight. And then after that, a group of centaurs arrived and escorted them, after being presented with a gift, to the central camp, basically, of the centaurs, where they met both Besutei, the centaur leader, the chieftain of the Windhoof tribe, and an albino a female albino centaur by the name of Teguska, who is the shaman of the tribe, and who had foreseen some two dark forces basically rising up on the island and trying to destroy all the inhabitants. So the Windhoof centaurs are preparing for war. Now, our player characters do not really know exactly where the darkness is coming from and what being this is. However, they very strongly assume that one of those, the one coming up from the north, down from the north, from the Titan Mountain, is the Lightning Lord, this entity that they have, I guess, met in a way a few times, and whose servants they have been fighting for a couple of weeks now in different areas of the island. Nonetheless, they have been tested by the centaurs in a test of might that Xander and Caliphos Xander and Caliphos, our rogue and our fighter, deal or fight against two of the best warriors of the centaur tribe. One of them, the chieftain's son himself, a mighty centaur by the name of Arutei. They managed to defeat them, even though Xander was knocked unconscious, and so thus proved their might. And then Karga and Silas that battled, if you so wish, the shaman, Teguska, in a battle of wits, as she was throwing riddles at them. However, they managed to succeed quite well in this case, and solve all the riddles that Teguska threw at them, and therefore have earned the respect of the Windhoof centaurs, and have also earned the help, basically, a military help in this operation against the Bloodcliff pirates and their terrible sacrifice that they are planning at the Obelisk. And the chieftain has given them an escort, basically, his son himself, and 4 more centaur warriors. The Windhoof centaurs do not wish to risk too many of their warriors, for they are, as I said, preparing for war. However, they have considered the worthiness of our heroes and their task that might very well profit the centaurs themselves, and have given them 4 centaurs and Arutei, so 5 centaur warriors to accompany them. However, they will be meeting those centaur warriors in Owl Lake, in the village, in a day or two, for they have also, after a long conversation with Teguska the shaman, learned something rather interesting, that there is a flower growing very high up in the hills of the Broken Peaks, this corrupted, overrun with undead, this small hill range in the center of the island. And there is a flower growing there, a very weird magical flower, so to speak, that is called the Shadowbane flower, whose thorns can bring the curse of lycanthropy, and whose petals, however, can cure that same curse if turned into a medical concoction, some sort of tea, basically. And as some of you might recall, Gyan the Huntsmaster, one of the allies of the player characters, has been afflicted with the curse of lycanthropy after being attacked by Hesperos, a werewolf that our player characters are, well, more or less acquainted with, I would say. Huntsmaster Gyan is now in Thornshire. He's being treated in the Temple of Pelor. However, even the High Priest of Pelor there is not sure if he can break the curse. Now, our player characters have decided to head for the Broken Peaks first, hopefully find one of those flowers, then head to Owl Lake as quickly as they can, give some messenger, basically the flower, send him up to Thornshire as quickly as possible with the instructions that are needed to hopefully save Gyan before he can finally transform in the night of the full moon, and then the curse cannot be broken afterwards, or is very difficult to break anyway. So our player characters have now set out to the Broken Peaks with 3 centaurs. One of them is a female centaur, an archer, a very skilled warrior of the tribe called Kiona, who is leading this group, and there's 2 male centaurs following, and they're basically supposed to lead the characters to the Broken Peaks, then take their horses, which will be of little to no use in the Broken Peaks themselves, and take them down to Owl Lake, basically, and then wait until the player characters arrive from the Broken Peaks in Owl Lake. And that is where we left off. So our heroes are just leaving behind the main camp of the Windhoof centaurs. It is very early in the morning. The sun has just risen, basically. And our heroes have not had, I don't think, much rest. They had a couple hours sleep. That's pretty much it, as they have been challenged to this trial, basically, or these 2 trials at around midnight, basically, and have been spending several hours in conversation with Teguska the shaman afterwards. But nonetheless, they are more or less prepared, and they are willing to do what necessary to give the Huntsmaster a fighting chance, basically. And as I said, the night of the full moon approaches. So getting up into the Broken Peaks, down to Owl Lake, and then down to the Obelisk, which is nearly a day's travel south of Owl Lake, might prove tricky in time, but we will see. Anyway, and that is where we are jumping in. So Agon is obviously with our heroes, riding on his horse that you have given him, and the centaur Kiona and the other 2 centaurs are waiting for you at the edge of the camp, basically, waiting whenever you are ready.
So, if am I remembering correctly, though, I think I suggested we enter the peaks south of the river, like
yes,
near Owl Lake.
You are roboting, and also, yes.
Oh, good, all right, I'll be right back.
Yes, so while Kevin is rejoining us as so often, yes, the players, if you take a look at the map, which is in the description of the YouTube video, as always, our heroes had the plan to go ride south until they get to the Grey Run, which is a small river coming out of the peaks and then streaming down west, entering the ocean around Wandermere, the village of Wandermere. And then basically when they reach the Grey Run, following it up the stream, basically, into the peaks, which is will lead them to the very southern portion of the peaks, sort of close-ish to Owl Lake, and then hopefully there, on one of the peaks, find this flower that they are looking for.
And from Teguska's description, we are likely to find the flower in that southern portion, are we? Or is it?
What she has told you is basically that the flower is to be found on the highest portions of the hills, basically, so the peaks themselves. But that is not, it's not extremely rare, but it is by no means common. So it might not be as simple as just climbing the first peak that you come across and then plucking it there. She has also told you that you have to be very careful when plucking the flower for the thorns, hold this nasty concentrated dark magic that has been basically at loose in the peaks for now 50 years or so.
So am I to take the map here as literal regarding like mountain heights, or like, so like this mountain like right here, is that gonna be like one of the tall ones?
Well,
Okay.
there's more or less. I mean, you have a map, and the map is drawn from like looking at the hills in the distance, so it's more or less accurate, but not like super accurate. So yeah, you can see that sort of the central portion and some of the southern portions, that's where the highest peaks are. Whereas sort of the northern area is not quite as high.
And when you say that the thorns contain concentrated dark magic, is that from the battle with the Dusks, the battle of the Dusk Slayers, or
it's
because Teguska was saying about like a battle with Titans type of thing, and they were bleeding.
Yeah, it seems like there was always a darkness there. So this is not recent thing, but it has been strengthened basically by whatever this necromancer who ruled this part of the land about 50 or so years ago has unleashed in those peaks. Basically, it's more of a chicken and egg scenario, I'm guessing. But did the necromancer strengthen the energies, or was he drawn by the energies that were already strengthened there, or something? Teguska could not quite tell you, but it's definitely the broken peaks have always, as I said, always been a place touched by the darkness.
Okay, good to know. Whereabouts do we have any? We know that there's a mine, and we know that there's the city of the singing ones.
You don't know anything about a city as such. No, this. So you have heard of this. Yes, the Singing Ones is basically the name. The centaurs also use this name, by the way, because the centaurs have been living on this island for a long time. The Singing Ones are basically a very old human tribe that has been once ruling this whole island, and the Broken Peaks were their burial grounds. That is where their people were laid to rest. And once the necromancer Lorik, the Duskbringer, once he entered the peaks and once he unleashed his magic, they rose up. Basically, the Shining Ones returned with an unlife that was not intended ever to be theirs, and ever since they have not managed to find rest. So the singing, it's basically like an old tribe, basically a very tribe that has been on this island like a 1,000 or so years ago, before the coming of modern civilization to Ravea.
Right, and I noticed there's a ruin just. Can I ping?
Yes, there is.
There.
Hey, Martin.
Hey, Martin.
You haven't missed anything. I was just, regurgitating what happened last time.
Right.
Yes, there is a ruin that is actually on your map. It's a bit hard to see because it's dark on the broken. Where the gliding river flows out of the Broken Peaks, there is a ruin, and that ruin is a small mining village that was once there. That was abandoned when the undead formed the peaks. There was one.
Let's not go there.
You have heard this before. There is a supposedly there's still a rich iron ore like veins down around that area, because the mine, when the undead arose, was by no means depleted. It was quite a rich mine once.
Right. And do we have any idea where the necromancer had his
no, you
residence?
Do not know.
Okay. Right. Well, I guess that's enough nitty questions from me anyway. I'm happy to
All right.
Yeah, I guess.
Sorry, Emma. I feel like I interrupted you there.
No, I was just. I mean, I don't feel like there's really any way for us to figure out which peak is the most likely one, so we might as well just go look, and if our time runs out, then we get the hell out.
Mm. And what's our deadline for leaving the Broken Peaks?
We decided something the other day, last time, didn't we? What did we say? How many days would it take to ride down?
Well, from
So
Owl Lake,
definitely
From Owl Lake.
you could make it about half a day or so if you're like pushing it a bit.
We planned to have like a day left for the thing. Basically, with our plans.
So the full moon is on the night. It's today. Heading out is day 33. The full moon is happening on day 36.
Yes, exactly.
Would we want to get there?
3 days time. That's the day of the full moon.
I think we planned on spending like half a day in the peaks or something like that.
Realistic.
Well, from where you are now, the sun has just risen. Riding fairly hard across the Stormplanes, the centaurs guiding you, knowing the best like routes and stuff. It will obviously save you a couple hours, but nonetheless, it will take you, depending on where you want to enter. If you're sticking to your plan about the Grey Run, it will take you about probably half a day to get to the edge of the peaks.
Okay.
So like a good 6 hours or so of riding, of fairly hard riding. Around sort of early afternoon, you will reach the peak.
Okay.
And then after that, it's hard to say how quick going will be.
I guess we do want to spend just the rest of this day and maybe and night if we feel like we need to find the plants, and if not, I'll get to Owl Lake.
I don't want to spend night in the
Sure.
Here's an idea though.
But the problem is, if we don't want to spend a night in the Broken Peaks, we won't really be able to do much. We'll go 2 hours in and then 2 hours back out when it gets dark. Like, if we're gonna arrive,
The darkness doesn't fall until about 8 o'clock or so. It's summer now, so you have the days are long. So after arriving at the Broken Peaks, if everything goes well along the way, obviously, because there's no monsters or gnolls or whatnot attacking you, you'll probably be at the edge of the peaks at around 1 o'clock, say, or so.
Okay.
So you have about maybe 7 hours before darkness falls, plus give or take an hour maybe.
Plus we have our tiefling beacon. His armor lights up.
Right.
Yeah.
How long does that last?
The light,
armor?
the armor, it's unlimited. Doesn't have any. It's a light cantrip. Technically lasts an hour, but you can recast it any time.
Oh, okay, excellent.
Here's an idea though. Maybe we just go to the tallest peak we can find that's close, and we use the spyglass to look at the other peaks.
Would you see a flower at that distance?
you wouldn't see a flower with a spyglass. Come on now.
Depends on how far away the peaks are from each other.
I think we should just.
Didn't they say something to that effect? And like it grows on the tallest peaks or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just go to the tallest peak we can find.
I guess.
That's our best
Yeah, sure.
action, I guess.
I feel like if we're going in for a few hours, which might not even get us up a mountain, and then turning back, we're not really giving it a fair shake.
Don't you have something that could scale a mountain faster?
I'm sure I do, but do we want to split the party? Like, I can spend all fucking week climbing around on the... Well, no, I can spend until, I guess, a day before the full moon climbing around, but then you all will have to fight, the big fight without me, because I would be under the same time constraints.
Yeah.
If we just want to go there for an afternoon.
Yeah.
Something.
Can't you fly now, by the way?
No, I don't
Okay.
think so. Not yet.
Sorry, Alex. How
Oh,
long
that's-
did you say? Like, if somebody like rides hard nonstop from Owl Lake to Thornshire, you said about a day.
Owl Lake to
Okay.
Thornshire.
Yeah.
Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I won't make it in a day.
Okay.
I mean, maybe if it's a really good rider and a really good horse and he risks killing the horse, maybe, but it's unlikely.
So we need somebody to be like leaving.
It's like a day and a half, like hard riding. Usually you need about 2 days. Day and a half if you like ride normal speed.
We need somebody to be leaving Thornshire the morning after tomorrow
I mean, from Owl Lake.
from Owl Lake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds about right. Yeah.
So that's what time frame for getting, and then and that still gives us like, because that's the morning of day 35. Our deadline is evening of 36. We've got a little bit of a leeway here, more so than we thought, I guess, but still, it just depends on how long it takes us to find this damn flower.
Yeah, you need to be level 8 to be turned into flying creatures as a druid.
Yeah, I thought so. My main concern is that if we want to have more than one go at finding the flower, because we do have a little wiggle room time-wise, it's kind of a waste of time to spend several hours going into the peaks, then several hours going back out, sleeping, then spending several hours going back in again to check a different mountain, and then back out again.
See, we only want to do one pass, I think.
Yeah,
We don't have
yeah,
time for more.
Yeah, I was just saying that I was hoping we could like get up a mountain in half a day and then back out, and we're done in 1 day. But
Well, the peaks aren't extremely high. This is not a mountain range. This is a hill range. Even though some of the hills, like the fact that on the map some of the like tops are snow covered might be a bit deceiving. There's not actual snow on there. This is just what the mountains look like in the map editor that I've used. So this is a hill range. This is not a mountain range. You might like it's. If those were not hills, you could probably cross the area if it's just flat terrain in like 3 or 4 hours. It's not a massive hill range. Like moving from, say, maybe like say 6 hours where the Greater Run enters to Hungir's Forest, that would be maybe a 6-hour journey or so. If there wasn't peaks.
Yeah, but is that 6 hours going the easy path or 6 hours going straight up to the highest point? I mean, there's a big
6
difference
hours
in
if
how.
the area was flat. If there were no hills at all, you need about 6 hours to cross the area that the broken peaks, where the broken peaks are. That's just the distance, like as the crow flies, so to speak.
Exactly, which means what if we get there at 1 and it gets dark at 8, we'll have 7 hours to get in there and back, so we'll have 3.5 hours to find the flower. Like
that's cutting it fairly close. Yeah, that's correct. With that
is very little time to find a flower in a hill.
well, I think we should. I would say let's go to where we're going to try to enter, and
Sure.
we try to enter. And if we see how our going is, and if it's too slow, we're going to have to kill another werewolf when we get back to Thornshire.
Maybe ask the centaurs to just drop us off at what they believe is the closest point to the tallest peak.
Yeah.
Mommy, you can ask him, sure.
Yeah, that's what I was implying.
Okay. You are, as you're discussing this, you're leaving the camp behind, and you approach Kiona and the other 2 centaurs that are waiting, and Agon as well. He's already sitting on his horse, sort of stretching his shoulder muscles, and he says, "Are we going or what?"
We are.
Well,
move
let's
out.
get this over with. You want me with you in the mountain, in the hills, or no?
Well, we don't want you running away, so...
You have my wife. I'm not running anywhere.
Yeah.
I also gave you my word.
But I think we can use all the help we can.
Yeah.
We can get right now. So
All right, well,
if you're willing.
I suppose I haven't really promised you to do this, but why not? Let's just try not to spend too many of our resources there, right?
Yep.
The whole thing with the obelisk is more important, I believe, than saving a single man, no matter who this man.
It's not just a single man, I suppose.
Yeah. Not if he turns into like a bloodthirsty werewolf. And...
Yeah, a werewolf could take more than one man with him, so this is fairly important. Anyways, yes.
Yeah.
Right, well, that's for you to decide. I'm just here to chop off heads.
Nice dramatic scene. Good to hear it, Aegon.
Kiona,
Aegon.
standing there and fiddling with her bowstring, and she looks up and says, she speaks common. You have spoken to her before. She's the centaur that you've spoken to in your first journey along the Grey Round to Vandermeer. She's one of the few centaurs who actually do speak a fairly decent common. And she says, so, we are at your disposal, as our leaders have promised. We have to take you to the Broken Peaks and then take your horses to the human village of Owl Lake, yes?
This would be correct. We would also like you to take us to where you think the closest point to the tallest peak is.
The tallest peaks?
Yes.
The tallest peaks would be nearly directly east of here. And she points towards where the sun is rising. You can see the sort of silhouettes of the peaks in the distance, but you can't really take too many details because the sun is blinding you. It's rising behind the peaks and it's hanging fairly low. We can take you there within 3 or 4 hours if we run hard.
Yes, Xander?
Necromancer, I put my base on the highest peaks in the hills. I would say that's where the highest concentration of undead would be. Maybe.
Probably.
I don't want to have to deal with kind of anything too crazy with the Broken Peaks at this stage. We're stretched thin enough.
The flowers in the highest peaks, we cannot avoid. I mean, if we want to avoid them because of undead, then we just don't go.
Mm-hmm.
There's no point.
I mean, like a... Yeah.
Well, we want to get in and out as fast as possible. So, and it's probably highest chance to be at the tallest peak. So we might as well go there right away.
Yeah.
We don't have time for anything else.
Well, we may not. It may not be that simple. I don't know how often you guys pick unusual plants, but it's not like visiting flower shop.
Well, that's why we have you. Let's go now. Let's not waste any time.
Yeah.
So, where am I taking you?
Closest point to the tallest peak.
Very well then. We will wait for you for 2 days in Owl Lake. If you have not returned by then, we will speak prayers to the spirits for your souls.
Okay, one problem actually with this plan, we were planning to land fairly close to Owl Lake. If we are going much more north...
I pull out the map and I point for our centaur guides and I say, can we get from there, something there?
Just use the vector, it's easier.
Would we get... Okay.
Yeah.
That's me, by the way. Hold Alt to make it more precision.
Oh.
Oh, wait, no. You've made it so it's all precision now. It might.
Okay. Get from here into the highest peaks. That's where we think we're going, yeah?
Yes.
Right here?
She looks down and says, yes, that is where I am taking you.
Yeah, that's where we plan to go anyways. So.
Yes.
We're going to go in there.
This
look around here.
On your map, she points, and she's basically pointing at the sort of E of the word broken.
Mm-hmm.
She says, this is where the highest peaks are. She doesn't seem to read common, but she speaks it.
Well, that
Okay.
falls in line with our previous plans.
So we're going to go in there, look around, come back out, and get to Owl Lake in 2 days. Do you think that's reasonable?
Maybe
And-
maybe we ask the centaurs
sorry.
to wait here with our horses.
Yeah, if we're starting here and going up, that would make more sense that they just wait here.
We can do that if you wish.
Hmm.
We have plenty of provisions. This is our land, after all.
Yeah, that would make more sense, actually.
Okay, let's go. Do you think? Sorry, I'm getting a bit bossy. But...
The sooner you decide, the sooner we can be on our way.
Yeah.
We are decided. Let's go.
Excellent. Naraka, Gyan. They turn and start running east towards the rising sun.
We
So you
saddle up and follow.
Yeah, you leap onto your horses, you follow, and the centaurs are setting quite the tough pace. They are clearly well used to these lands, and their physicality is well suited to running on these grasslands. Your horses are going fairly well, though. They have rested more or less, and they have been fed well. So for the next few hours, you will basically just concentrating on gripping to your horse and giving it your all, focusing on riding without having the mental capacity to waste too much time on overthinking things. As you are approaching the broken peaks, and you can see there's like a jagged edge of the peak sort of piercing out, nearly like a triangle, as you can see on the map, piercing out into the sort of west, piercing west into the broken peak, into the Stormplanes. However, you are skirting around that, sort of riding southeast for a bit, and then slowly flanking around and coming to an area where the peaks themselves are sort of withdrawing and nearly offering like a small canyon, more or less, from what you can tell, that seems to be leading into the peaks themselves. And the sun is slowly rising above you as you are riding and riding and riding. And it will take you a good maybe 4 hours or so of fairly hard riding to reach this spot. So it's about 10:30 as you get there. And you can see there is one small hill that sort of reaches out into the Stormplanes. And this hill is actually not barren like the ones in the actual main part of the Broken Peaks. There's bushes and a few trees on the hill, and it is overgrown with what looks to be quite healthy grass. And the centaurs make their way up there. The hill isn't very steep, and it's only maybe about 30, 40 yards high. And that is where they lead you. And then as you stop up there, you leap off on your horses, and you can see the entirety of the Broken Peaks now rising on pretty much three sides, ahead, to your left, and to your right, as you are in this triangle, sort of piercing the peaks. And you can see ahead of you, the peaks are very high for a hill range anyway. And then to your right, there's some lower ones. And you can even see what looks to be several cave mouths actually yawning in the actual peaks themselves. It looks like this side of the hills to your right is littered with small and large caves. And then the peaks rise up a bit higher beyond that. To your left, there seems to be one single peak, one single sort of a higher hill, and then a few smaller ones beyond that. And Kiona turns and says, as promised, we are here. And the actual peaks start only about maybe a couple 100 yards from where you are sitting on this single small outlying hill. The peaks themselves, of course, as you have seen before, are nearly bereft of life. They're brown and gray and rocky, and there's very little, except for a few sort of half-dead bushes and a few grass patches that are too stubborn to die. I do not envy you. Going into this land, it has been cursed for many, many generations, as far as anyone can think back.
We have experience with it.
I see. Well, our hoofs are unsuited to venturing deep into this rocky territory. We will wait for your return here.
Thank you.
Aegon jumps up the horse, starts sort of stretching his legs, mumbling something about, I hate horses. He doesn't seem to be much of a rider.
Well, up we go.
Robots!
Ah.
All right.
I cast Mage Armor myself real quick.
Okay, sure. You guys still have the spells prepared from last night, right? Karga and Silas? I believe you prepared the spells before your confrontation with
Yeah,
the
and we did not have time to sleep,
so to speak. So you did not have a full rest after that. So you're still sticking with the same spells that you prepared. Silas, did you roll Portent? Did we already do that?
Yeah, I should have 14, 19.
Okay.
which unfortunately means that I do not have Pass Without Trace
No, that's good.
on me at the moment. Otherwise, I would be casting it right now.
Yeah. What do you wish to do?
Excuse me.
Head straight for
Go
the thing.
hiking.
Which direction are you heading into the pills in?
Well, we're like right there, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly there. You can even see that on the map, that little hill that's sort of out in the green, so to speak.
Yeah. So like right here.
So you're heading for the central area. You're sort of following that canyon that leads in.
Basically where she instructed us.
All right. That seems there's like double peaks, like twin peaks stretching up next to each other. These seem to be, from what you have seen, the tallest two peaks of the entire hill range of the Broken Peaks. One of them slightly closer to you, the other one sort of peeking out, so to speak, no pun intended, from behind that one.
All right.
So you step inside, and you can see the area changes rapidly under your feet. As I said, there's little cover here except for rocky outcroppings and rocks rising up from the ground. It is stone and earth, fairly dry, with a little bit of mud here and there, but little water from what you can tell here anyway.
What was the description again of the plant?
Sorry?
What was the description of the plant again?
It was a purplish black flower. But you would assume that there won't be too many flowers that you will see here in this area. So whoever the first flower you find might very well be the one that you're looking for. This doesn't seem like a very good area for plants in general. So how do you want to proceed?
Quietly.
You see in front of you, there is basically, as I said, there's a canyon that seems to be winding its way deeper into the hills. So you could either follow that, or you could try climbing up one of the sort of goat tracks, if you wish, small, very fine tracks that lead to your left and to your right up. These are more difficult going, but there's way more cover there.
You want to go further up faster, sooner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, dead people generally not very agile.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah. There are a lot of undead things that are pretty fast.
Silas doesn't know from experience, but he's heard some stories, maybe.
All right. So you're ignoring the canyon and following the goat trail, so to speak?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. The
We're not
left
seeing
one.
like any like movement at all or anything at this point because we're still kind of like
No, there is no movement
on the edges of the.
Yeah. However, there is very many hiding spots that could hide a whole 100 or more creatures from your view. The paths are sort of winding, and there's nooks and crannies everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You can't see very far, basically. The sun, however, is now nearly high overhead. and you can see. I mean, there's enough light. Let's put it that way. So I'm assuming you're taking the left path because that would lead you closer to those twin peaks. The right path leads you more towards that sort of cave-riddled area.
Yeah.
All right. And you said you wish to proceed cautiously and quietly?
If possible.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, stealthing, sneaking around will slow you down as you basically travel down to like half speed when you are sneaking. But yeah, you can certainly do that.
I am tempted to not.
It's up to you.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm
We have
nearly.
not historically been good sneakers, except that one time. What does it? It's not gonna. You can roll 45 on stealth. If the rest of us fail, it's not gonna help.
Maybe
Yeah.
Karga should turn into something fast and sneaky and scout ahead.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll turn into
Uh,
I don't know, a weasel. Are they fast?
I believe cats are usually the
Not
fastest.
particularly large, so I doubt that they're going to be that massively fast.
let me put this up.
Like
can turn-
Well,
panthers.
if I turn into something very big, I'm much more likely to get noticed because there aren't much of animals here, I assume.
That is true.
That's right.
Matt and Goat, even if you do get noticed, you just like go away that they can't.
Just
Well,
bleat.
there's
Just
a
bleat.
giant weasel that has a movement speed of 40.
Well, giant weasel is probably.
And I might as well just be a cat.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be a cat. And sneak ahead.
A big cat.
Yeah, cat has a cat's actually a very good choice because a cat has a climbing speed of 30 feet and a walking speed of 40, so it's faster than a human or half orc, and it can also climb without having to roll really, except for in difficult circumstances.
To be fair, I think they climb with their claws, so climbing on rock might not be.
Well, she's not climbing sheer rock surfaces.
Right.
A cat is way more agile, can leap and hold on to where a human could not follow, basically. Okay, so how far ahead do you wish to climb, Karga?
I don't know. What's reasonable?
Depends on what you mean by reasonable.
Do you want to just move ahead of us for as long as we're walking?
I'll keep maybe 60 feet ahead of y'all.
Okay.
Hmm.
And are you guys trying to sneak or no?
I don't think so. As unroguish as it is, I agree with Martin that kind of a lightning move is.
Okay. So you are following the goat trail up, and it keeps winding up and up a hill, and it will take you probably a good hour or so to reach the first of these smaller peaks. And as you are following Karga in her cat form, who's leaping in between the rocks and sort of showing you the best path to take, it is a tricky climb, but not too terrible. You just have, as long as you're focused and you keep your eyes on the task and your hands free, so you can use both of them, it is not too terrible to climb. There's every now and then there's small pebbles that are dislodged and fall down, but doesn't seem to be any type of attack coming. And then you reach the first of those smaller peaks, as I said, after a good hour, so it's just before noon basically now. The sun is straight overhead, your shadows, small blotches of half permanent darkness under your feet. And you can now see from where you are, you have a better view of the broken peaks. Right in front of you, maybe another half a mile or so away, rises the taller one of the two twin peaks that you see in front of you. And you can see it is fairly rough going from the looks of it. This one is quite steep. You definitely have to climb, especially in the higher paces. And it's about 1.5 times as high as the one that you are now. So it will probably take you a good hour and a half to scale it. The other one, the one behind it, seems not quite as tall and easier going. However, you'd have to skirt around the main one to get to the second one. You can from here see in the distance, sort of between the peaks to your right, sunlight on water. It seems that these are the beginnings of the gliding river running downhill. But that's a fair bit away, a couple miles from where you are, at least. And you can also see something different that you might not have expected. To your right, on a hill that is adjacent to the tallest one of those, stands a building, a structure, fairly sturdy looking, and made of what looks like to be the very same stone of these hills. It looks a little primitive, but nonetheless, definitely like some sort of small keep.
Right. So is it carved out of the hill, or is it?
It looks like it's basically
cut from
by basically stacking broken rocks upon one another.
Okay, it's not even like cubic blocks or anything like that.
Does it look like it's human
perfectly.
scaled?
Sorry?
Does it look like it's human scaled?
You would say yes. It looks human scaled. Well, it's hard to say from distance. You're still like maybe, I don't know, 2 miles, 3 miles away from where that is.
Can we use looking glass?
Yeah, I was gonna pull up my spyglass and.
Yeah, you certainly can. Give me a perception check. You stop, pull out the spyglass, you take a look in the direction.
All right, perception. Be all right. It's gonna be 14.
Okay. Looking at the area, it seems the keep itself is basically one rectangular wall, and then in the center of this wall is another building. The keep looks doesn't look as old. It doesn't seem like a ruin as such, as you might have expected. It doesn't look like it's ancient by any means. At first, you do not think it inhabited, but then, as you take a closer look, you spot two things. From the central building, there's small windows, like some holes in the rock, basically. You spot flashes of green light that seem to be coming from the windows, like 2 or 3 times, not permanently, but every now and then. You take a look, and another look, and then another one. And then barely visible in the bright sunlight. And then taking a closer look at the wall itself, you see that there seems to be shapes moving around on the walls themselves.
Yeah.
Taking a close look at the shapes at this distance proves difficult. They are definitely humanoid, and it looks like they are wrapped in what looks to be like black cloaks or tattered coats or something along those lines. They're sort of, as they are moving, they're sort of hanging out behind them a little bit, like being enveloped by wind. And you spot at least 3 of those shapes on the walls. You cannot see a gate, so the gate, either there is no gate, which would be weird, or the gate is on the opposite side from where you are.
So there's somebody home, and we should probably not go near that place if we can help it.
Do you think?
It's not like near the top of the peak, is it?
No, it's not near top of the peak. It's a good. It's so basically there's 2 twin peaks, and then on the side of the taller one of the 2, which is also closer to the one closer to you, there's a smaller hill, still fairly high, but not nearly as high as the others. About the same height as the one you are on, maybe slightly taller, and that's where the keep is standing.
Okay.
Maybe let's kind of go around the far side of that near peak then.
Just skirt around it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are heading for which one of the two twin peaks are you heading?
The nearer peak, but like kind of like
Okay,
almost
so
the opposite side from that.
All right.
Can I ask Karga? Do you think
Karga's a cat.
you're? Oh yeah, okay.
I mean, she
Yeah.
can nod and shake her head, and stuff.
We can
But,
do the
yeah.
meows.
So you are aware that she's a cat at the moment.
For a little while longer.
Yeah, for a good another 2 hours, I believe.
I can stay in beast shape for 3 hours total. So
Yeah, so you've been in cap shape for about an hour. So 2 hours.
I'm right in saying Karga is the most of us to guide us through here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like like trailblazing, scouting, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like I'm more a city slicker. So yeah, Karga, do you think that's a good idea? Nod. Do you think we're going to be able to sneak around this, or?
a nod. It's just a cat going with a look of "Stop talking, let's move."
Yeah.
And then I walk
yeah.
off.
Feed me.
I prefer getting
In a
the
very
drop on people
cat-like
because I
fashion.
have. Yeah.
All right. And Karga,
I've had enough of this conversation.
yes, very cat-like. Just-
Okay, sorry. I'll avoid asking your opinion in future, Karga.
Okay,
I flick
so
my tail at you in a way that would be very rude if I had more than one tail. Like 5, maybe.
Right.
Okay, all right.
right. So you start skirting in a sort of crescent fashion around, away from this keep, whatever it is, and closer to the tallest one of the peak, the steepest of the two, the steeper one of the two. Karga, give me a perception check. As you are ahead, I'm assuming, as you did before. 19. All right. Your ears that are sort of moving around on your head, trying to catch the slightest movement or sound, indeed hear something. They hear a like something hard hitting stone in a rhythmical fashion, and you sort of sneak up onto a rock, looking in the direction from where that noise is coming from, and you see 2 figures. And with that much light, it is very easy to make out what they are. They are horses, skeletons of horses that are moving around. That's what you hear. You can hear their hoofs hitting the rock. And on those skeletal horses sit skeletal men or women, holding onto them, basically by their vertebrae. And the skeletons are wielding spears and like sort of half broken wooden shields and scraps of armor, leather and fur, and what looks to be bronze, like studs, more or less. But the bronze has turned green with age. The same with their spears and their helmets. Yes, 2 skeleton, 4 in total, I guess. 2 horses, 2 riders, and they are slowly riding. They're not coming directly towards you, but they're sort of their path would lead them fairly close past you. It looks nearly like a patrol or something.
Hmm.
The rest of your companions have not noticed that yet. They are like,
without obviously taking a lot of time for it, is there an obvious like way we could go to like slip around them?
well, you could just pass and like stop and hide here and hope they'll pass by and then continue on your way, or you could like skirt around further.
Does it seem likely that we would have enough cover if we skirted around?
Yeah, there is plenty of cover.
Then I'm just gonna like double back and, you know, adjust course a little so that we can kind of circumvent them.
Okay. So you guys see Karga looking slightly more nervous in her cat form as she seems to be adjusting course after staring off onto something in the distance.
Have I heard the hoofs yet?
Give me perception checks, everyone.
God damn it. 7. Passive perception 18.
17.
All right, you actually all would hear them. you hear this rhythmical sound of something hard hitting rock, basically. And you do figure out very quickly, even before the riders come into view, that these must be horse hoofs, since you have heard the sound fairly often yourself.
So I think we're going to like get down though.
Yeah.
Try and skirt around them.
All right.
Following target.
Stealth checks, everyone.
Yep.
I'm so good at these.
Oh wow, Agon rolled well despite disadvantage. I'm surprised.
9.
Okay, so as both Silas and Caliphos are sort of trying to duck down, there's a flash of light on a piece of Caliphos' armor, and Silas sort of briefly blinded by it, shaking his head, and they both don't get down quickly enough. And as you sort of then duck down and look back up, you see the two skeletal horsemen have stopped, and they're now looking in your direction, both the horses and the riders, sort of swirling their head around, looking at you, or in your direction anyway. They're about maybe 120, 130 feet away from where you are at the moment. And one of them stops and stays where he is. The other one continues closer, getting his spear ready. You can see this brownish green spear shaft, the tip pointing in your vague direction now. What do you wish to do?
I'm drawing my bow.
Yeah.
I'm getting down as low as I can. Maybe, probably not going to help, but stay
I'm
down.
notching an arrow is what I should say, not drawing them.
Yeah.
I'm pulling out my crossbow
Okay.
and bolts.
Okay, the closest rider stops about maybe 40, 50 feet away from you. He turns his head, looking around the area. And then he throws his head backwards, and you hear this weird sound. It's nearly indescribable, emanating from him. It's like a chorus of whispering voices, like, but it has a singing quality to it, like nearly like a church choir coming from this dried up throat. And these are, as you can see them close now, these are not skeletons as such. They're still skin there, but they're like extremely dried up husks, basically. The muscles have completely shriveled away, so they basically look like skeletons, but most of the skin is still there.
Mummified almost.
Basically, yeah. And they're more like sort of brownish gray more than white as such, although you can see flashes of bone here and there where the skin is sort of split open.
I whisper to Silas, should I take a shot? Should I take a shot?
Do I see or hear anything else like that might be approaching in response to that?
Not really, although you see now that the second rider is also sort of looking upwards.
I guess I'll nod to Xander and send a message to Karga. It's like, yeah, we're doing this.
As soon as he gives me the go-ahead, I'm going to take a shot at the closest rider.
All right.
I'd also
Pop up and let loose an arrow.
seeing Xander do that, I'd also like to do that.
All right. Yeah.
He's not surprised, I'm guessing.
He's not surprised, no.
5. Do I get... I still get sneak attack because he hasn't taken a round in combat?
Yes. Technically you do. They get sneak attack, yes. But it's 8 points. Plus 12. Yeah, okay. So basically, even before Caliphos' shot connects, Xander's bow an arrow, takes off the skull's head, just smashing into it and bursting out the back, and the skull sort of lolls backwards, and then the whole skeleton just slides off the horse and shatters on the ground on the rocks.
I'm just imagining him dropping the arrow and throwing the bow at the skeleton.
Now, we are in initiative, guys. So, let's roll some initiative.
Hey, that's better.
Oh my god. Like, this is... It's so important that I get good initiative, and I never get...
Okay.
And
15.
actually, I think technically I'm actually an 8 because I'm still a cat.
Yes, you are. You would take the cat's initiative, yes. The cat's dexterity, I mean.
See, I have a +6 to initiative.
How do you get such a good initiative?
Alerts.
Alert.
Oh, alert, right.
Yeah.
Might
What,
take that next level.
What did Silas have?
15.
15, all right. And let's see what Agon has. 11, not bad.
Well, I mean...
Okay, so we're starting with Silas. What do you wish to do?
I think I'm gonna Ray of Frost the other skeleton's horse.
That one is about 120 feet away from you.
Let me see.
I don't know if you can reach with that with Ray of Frost, but
60 feet. Okay. Well, in that case, I will. I guess. Yeah, I'll hit him with a magic missile.
Which one?
The other rider, the one that still has a head.
The other rider? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Just gonna be level 1.
And Magic Missile has 120 feet range, I'm assuming?
Yeah. He is right at the edge of it.
All right.
You're starting to robots.
Okay, hold on. Let's go. That's 5, 10, 12 points of damage.
12 points. And that's force damage, right?
Yes.
All right. So, your 3 missiles, I presume, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your 3 missiles shoot out as you leap up, rise up from behind the rock, basically, curl around the first horse, shoot past, and smash into the skeleton that's on the horse, and you basically see bones splintering and just breaking off. One of its arms, the one holding the shield, actually falls to the ground, but the other one's still holding on. It's still standing somehow. So it's now mostly broken, but it is still there. Still filled with whatever unlife possesses it. Or it possesses. Anything else, Alice?
I'm gonna get back down behind some rocks.
All right.
And relog.
Yes. And it is now the horse, the closest one. Well, the one of the undead who is further behind will dash into your direction, approaching 80 feet. So it is now only 40 feet away from you. The rider is sort of holding on with his spear, somehow clutching it with its leg as it's missing its second arm. However, the horse dashing forward. This other horse leaps straight for where it saw, or where it still sees Xander standing. It leaps over the rock, coming towards you, Xander, and then leaps up and tries to smash you with its hoofs.
Okay. I'll.
That would be a natural 20.
I will uncanny dodge that.
Is he within 5 feet of me?
He's not. No, you were only about 15, 20 feet away from each other as you were hiding in different spots. Well, that would be 24 points of bludgeoning damage. So 12, reduced to 12.
Nice.
As you see this undead horse leaping up onto a rock from behind which you are hiding, and then smashing down its front hoofs into you. You manage to roll backwards, but it still hit you in the chest, flinging you back. You sort of land against another rock.
12 points.
Feeling the pain.
12 points.
Agon is next. He will shout out a war cry, run up to that horse that just smashed into Xander, and unleash two strikes. One of them is a crit. The other one misses. But Harford crits are nasty. That's 19 plus. Yeah, he leaps up and just with one blow misses, and the backhand blow takes the horse and severs its spine in the center, pretty much. Two halves of the horse stand and then just fall apart. As the black axe bites through it. That was Agon's turn. Kaliphos, you're up next.
So like this one rider is how far away now?
40 feet.
Okay. Can I draw my wand? Is that a like bonus action or?
You draw what?
My wand.
Yes, you can. That is not a bonus action. That is just
okay.
A past part of
Gonna try this fucking thing.
Excellent. So you're using the blood magic wand, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think 1 bolt at the rider and 2 at the horse.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, how?
So you basically grip this wand and you feel it slash into your flesh. Roll d6. Okay, so you take 2 points of damage.
Okay.
As basically these spikes on the grip of the wand strike into your flesh, and as the blood runs down, you feel your blood going cold as it is sucked into the wand and disappears. Basically, none of it reaches the ground, and then the wand glows for a moment, and then 3 magic missiles shoot out from it, flying towards Rider. So the Rider will just be destroyed by the blow, as it is barely holding together at the moment anyway. And you roll me 2d4s for the warhorse. 6 points, so 8 points of damage to the warhorse. All right. Karga, your turn. You're still a cat.
I am going to... How far away is the other horse? I mean, the remaining horse?
About 40 feet.
Okay, I'm gonna stop being a cat with my bonus action and move to within 30 feet of the horse, and I'm gonna cast Thorn Whip and try to grab its front legs and yank it.
Yeah, you leap up onto the rock that you were hiding behind, and out from the rock, from the side where there's a little bit of ground, a Thorn Whip shoots out towards it. It's a ranged spell attack, I believe.
It's a melee spell attack, actually.
A melee spell attack. Well, I guess it doesn't really
Same
matter.
thing.
Yeah.
20 plus.
14 is a hit, yeah.
I think it's just
I think 2d6
plain damage, yeah.
8 points, not bad. And does it pull it closer to you or something like that?
10 feet.
Okay, so it's only 30 feet away from you now. 20 feet away from you now. As wrapped around one of the front legs and sort of pulls it forward, the skeleton shaking. Xander, you're up next.
The first rider and horse are gone.
Yes, it is only the horse remaining. Both riders and one of the horses have been destroyed.
I say thanks to Agon, and I will take a shot at the horse.
All right, he just gives you 24 hits. 9 points. And with that, your arrow strikes into the skull, breaking the bone, and the skull sort of falls off, and then the whole skeleton falls apart.
And with my movement, I'll go and take a high ground to take a look out.
that was the last of the enemies.
Yeah, I've got the spyglass out, and I'm looking around for any movement around us.
All right. Well, you are now not very high up, as you have been descending the hill basically to get to the next one, so you wouldn't be able to look very far as such. You can basically look up the slope behind you, and you can see this large hill looming in front of you. That's all you can see.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So, and for that you don't need a spyglass because they're both fairly close. Looking around, you do actually give me a perception check.
Oh, that's much better. That's a 21.
Okay. Looking up behind you, there's nothing. Nothing you can see anyway. In front of you, however, looking up towards the sort of top part of the hill, you can see there is what looks to be a like a small plateau, very tiny, just a couple yards really, sort of 3/4 up, beyond a fairly steep climb, and you can see what looks to be like a large nest standing there, like a massive nest made of twigs intertwined with each other. And looking up there, you can see a head with a beak protruding out of it, staring back at you. This looks to be
how
a very large bird.
How far did you say this was?
This is like just straight line, a couple 100 yards away from you. Maybe about
This is
half a mile or so.
Can I see what kind of, like, whether it's a bird or whether it's some kind of monster?
It doesn't look like, it looks like a bird. It looks like a large, you're not quite sure because you can only see like the face. The rest of the body is sort of hidden in the nest. It looks rather large, and it doesn't look like a monster as such. It has a bird. I mean, unless it's something that has like a body of a monster in it, like a griffin. It's more like a sort of bird of prey, not like a vulture. You can see sort of brownish feathers with a little bit of gray to them, like a large falcon or eagle or something like that.
Like, say, a griffin?
Could be.
We did see a big bird flying the first time we went over the Stormplanes.
You did, yeah.
It's looking straight at us.
I think we should just avoid it. Probably not going to attack unless provoked.
Are they territorial?
Yes, we should avoid very far around it in case there are babies in that nest and it gets cranky.
Yeah.
Do you speak bird, Karga?
Not at the moment, unfortunately.
Only on Tuesdays.
Yeah. Tuesday's bird speaking day, don't you know that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you continue on your path, approaching what would be the western side of this tallest of the broken peaks.
Was there any loot on the bodies?
Nothing of significance from what you could tell. Basically, looking at them a bit closer, they had a very archaic type of armor that looked like it was once quite finely made, but it's made of bronze. This must be some sort of pre-iron civilization, basically, the Singing Ones. And while that means that their armor and their weapons have not rusted, they're not as good as yours by any means. They're not as sharp, and they're not as sturdy.
Okay. Silas, would you know anything about the magic of creating undead? Are they likely to be kind of a collective intelligence, or?
I think
it looked like that. That's what was going on. So let's get.
I don't know that it's like a hive mind necessarily, but like.
Give me a Arcana check, Silas.
Yeah.
Although pondering this.
Ooh, that's 23.
Okay. Undead do not have a hive mind as such unless there is a central mind controlling all of them, which can happen. A necromancer can technically look through the eyes of each of his undead creatures if he's skilled enough for it. And sometimes there is powerful undead creatures that can control lesser undead, like skeletons and zombies and such. And that sort of such a mind could very well gather information, but with its lesser undead, which are really just an extension of its own body.
Yeah, but it's not like all of the drones are speaking with all the drones. It's all the drones report to this central
Yes, exactly.
intelligence.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And then
Yeah,
the
so
central intelligence could very well move around. I mean, you're not 100% sure. Usually, undead cannot be simply commanded from a distance as such. So unless the necromancer is present, he cannot give them command. Like a necromancer couldn't give commands to an undead troop, like I don't know, dozens of miles away or something.
Right. So I don't think we have to worry about. I think if anything, whoever might be controlling these things might know of our presence, but I think we've got a little time before.
All the more reason to not stay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How about we
So
just
let's
keep
just-
going, eh?
Yeah, let's move
Press.
the original formation and
All right. Yeah, you continue for another maybe half an hour or so, leaving this place far behind you, where you fought. Karga still ahead. Oh, actually, Karga, you're not a cat anymore. Do you want to return to cat form, or are you just scouting as a human at the moment, or half orc, I should say?
I think I will dispense with the scouting because I want to have one wild shape left in case I need it. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So another half hour or so later, you have reached the western flank, the western side of this tallest of the broken peaks, and you can see up ahead there is a fairly steep climb going several hundred feet up. No, it's not a climb all the time. Sometimes there's a bit of space for walking, but then you'll have to climb at least, you'd say, 3, maybe 4 times.
Like proper rock climbing type situation.
Yes, proper climbing. It's not like a fortress wall or something like that, but it's very steep.
Okay. Up we go. Look at the rest of the group. I take that as it.
I can get up there, I'd say. Not that I know much climbing, but it's really all in the muscles, right? But he looks at sort of pretty much everyone except for Khalifas. Actually, Karga isn't really that. Is fairly muscular, I suppose. So he looks mainly at Xander and Silas, and he's like, "You sure you want to risk that?"
Silas has a thing that allows him to not want to climb.
For like 60 feet, I could do it like once.
Yeah. How tall do we need to climb? Like,
sorry,
Alex, how tall is this climb?
Like all the way up from where you are standing?
Mm-hmm.
Couple hundred feet.
I have a climbing kit with me.
Well, that will help a lot, a climbing kit. I'll basically give you advantage on the athletics checks that you need to roll for climbing.
Awesome.
Yep.
Maybe leave our stuff down here so we're not way down and just start climbing.
Probably not the worst idea. Luckily, I don't have any shit with me. And I'm not taking off my armor. He sort of hangs his axe onto his back. Want me to go first, or anyone else like to go first?
I mean, you basically look like the most capable climber, so why don't you go first?
Hey, that's why I'm suggesting it. Give me a rope or something.
I give him rope, climbing pittons.
Oh, so you give him the whole kit, basically?
Yeah.
Oh, just pittons and rope, right. All right, and a hammer or something, basically.
Yeah, I give him the climbing kit, basically.
Okay. All right, let's see if we can take the first climb, then we'll rest, and then take the second, and then the third before we get up.
Yep.
You have an eye out here, and he starts climbing. And okay, he doesn't do quite as well as you would have expected. Maybe he's probably being a sailor and all that. It's probably not like his favorite thing in the world, climbing, but he's very strong, quite athletic. So he does make it. After about 5 minutes or so, he manages to basically defeat this first climb. and lift himself up onto a small plateau. Sort of, he has been hammering in about 3 or 4 pitons along the way, and he ties the rope to the final one. He looks down on you, and he's not about maybe, I don't know, 40, 50 feet over your heads. He's like, all right, it's a bit tricky on the bottom side, so let's keep an eye out.
You said 40 or 50 feet up?
Yeah, about 40 feet up, 50 feet up, yeah.
I fly up.
You fly up?
Yeah.
Okay, so you reach into the storm amulet that you have, and just in a burst of speed, you shoot up and land next to him. He's like, what the you could have done that without me having to climb it, you shit.
Well, I want to see what you had, you know.
Show me what you got.
He just crossed his arms.
And
Also,
climbing
I wouldn't be able to guarantee the stability of any pittons I try to hammer in.
Fair enough. He sort of looks down and gives you this to the rest of you.
Okay. I start climbing, I suppose.
Give me an athletics check with advantage because of the rope and the pitons and such. 15, yeah, you're about as good as he is. Make it up without too much trouble.
Thank fuck for advantage.
And that's, sorry, you said athletics?
Yes. Okay.
Good job.
Was that a climbing check for Xander as well?
Athletics. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. I thought that was Khalifa's roll. Okay, so 15, 18. You guys make it up without any trouble. However, Karga seems to be having some fairly significant trouble. In fact, you slide back down, taking 2 points of damage while you just slide back down in a small avalanche, basically landing onto the ground, dusting yourself up as your clothes are a little dusty and torn now. Wasn't a significant fall by any means, but painful. You're right down there.
Mumbling something about limbs. I would also like to point out that I think I've now taken more damage by a landslide in my orc form than by anything else in this campaign so far. Can I make another attempt, or should I just transform into something that climbs?
You can make another attempt. You can make as many attempts as you like, really. So you die, or yeah.
Hey.
Okay, yeah, the second time, just sheer determination and frustration warms your muscles, gives you strength, and you, like, faster than all of them, in fact, make it up.
Kalifos is sort of like just.
I do the badass
really
arms only climb and just go. God damn it! Freaking legs.
Not bad. Maybe you should go first. Or actually, how about you go first, Wizard? You can fly.
I can only do that once, actually.
What the? You stupid! You wasted it down here on the easiest one.
I mean, save my strength for later, right?
There's 2 more climbs ahead. Did you leave your gear, by the way, down below, or are you still carrying it at the moment, guys?
I think we hid it somewhere.
Okay, yeah, just put it amongst the rocks. Sure, there's plenty of
I
time.
left my bag, but not my staff.
Yeah, just the stuff in
your
my
weapons and armor on you, of course, but like the backpack is what I'm asking about. Yeah, okay, yeah, you hit it like between some rocks or something. There's plenty of time.
I think I'd carry my rope over the shoulder with me as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who's going first? Me again?
Sure.
Go for it.
Okay,
All right. Yeah, this time he makes it up fairly quickly and basically ties the second rope up.
12.
Xander, second, has some issues, but just barely makes it. There's a few moments where you weren't quite sure that you would make it. Karga makes it a little easier than Xander, but not much. Kalifos, you seem, now that you're not carrying the rope anymore on your shoulder, now that it's actually hanging there, you make it up without any issues. And how you all go down onto...
I'm also wearing heavy armor and weapons. And
I'm going to take my 14 from poor Janet, which brings me down to 13 with my avoidance.
All right. You see this moment of clarity all of a sudden as you realize you have seen this in your vision. This you know exactly where all the
I know the handholds.
Exactly. And you just make it up without any issues. You're now standing before the last climb. However, as you are standing there, looking back down, but you're now fairly high up, higher than most of the other peaks. And as you look down from where you are coming from, you see movements. It looks like at least a dozen figures, partially on foot, but there's one figure astride on one of those dead horses, are moving towards where the starting point of your climb is, basically.
Spyglass out and looking over.
You look closer. You can see the figures on foot are skeletons or shriveled up corpses, like the ones you have fought not but an hour ago or so.
Yeah.
The one on a horse, however, it looks different. He is draped in an armor that is better made, with beautiful bronze engravings showing scenes of battle. You can see like warriors wrestling and sword fighting on his armor, and the carvings are very finely made. It is also bronze made, but it is better preserved. And he has a helmet that is obscuring most of his face. However, you do catch a glimpse of a half broken nose, a little bit of skin on it, a little bit of bone shining through. And his skin is this pale white. And you can see patches of a beard still sort of protruding from the skin. And as you look down, the creature looks up, and you can see two shining yellow eyes with a little bit of smoke, nearly, like a little bit of smoke curling out from them. And the creature looks up, and you get the impression that it's looking straight at you, even from several hundred yards away.
Okay. Yeah, they're...
Someone needs to deal with their phone.
Sorry?
Someone needs to deal with their phone.
Oh, yeah, that's the home phone. I'm actually the home phone.
We should maybe just climb up so we don't have to fight them here on sharp folly cliffs.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
How far away are they?
They're several hundred yards away, and like down, obviously. They have
several
not.
hundred. Okay.
Yeah.
Way out of bow shot.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's keep going.
I make a rude gesture and keep climbing.
We keep climbing? All right. Fair enough. I haven't left anything down there.
I haven't left much. Nothing.
Nothing you couldn't give up? Good.
Yeah. His lantern's probably gone.
I'd probably have most of my valuable stuff in like the saddlebags of the horse. So.
Oh no, my unusual rocks! Oh no.
Yeah, Agon climbs the last bit, but you can see he's having trouble. This seems to be a tricky climb, even for him. He does make it all the way up, pulls himself up about maybe 40, 50 feet over your heads. He looks back down and says, "Careful. It's a bit of slick. It's pretty slicky up here. This is a tricky one. Take your time."
Advantage still?
Yes. Actually, no. No climbing here this time. There's no rope. There's a couple pitons. Yeah, sure. I'll give you advantage. It's just barely enough if you use up all the pitons to give you advantage.
I'm going last also.
10.
All right.
Gone for advantage. Jeez.
So, as you are climbing, who's going up first?
The half orc Agon, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I mean after him. He's already up.
I guess I rolled next.
Yeah, it looks
I'd
like you
go up last, I
Yeah.
think.
Okay, so as Xander is climbing, he comes about halfway, so about 25 feet up or so, and then you fail a grip, you slide, and you fall. And as you fall, I mean, it's not perfectly like a perfect 90-degree angle, so the cliff, so to speak, but it's fairly steep. You sort of slide down, and you unleash an avalanche that hits all 3 of your companions, and all 3 of you, because none of you actually succeeded, all back down and land next to that rope, the end of the rope of the second climb, where you have tied up, and each single one of you takes 6 points of damage from that fall.
Yeah, now I've definitely been more hurt by rocks than by living things in this form.
Luckily, you do manage to catch yourself before you stumble all the way down. You're right down there.
Yeah.
I told
We're
you.
good.
You have a necklace that lets you fly, don't you?
I used that.
Oh, right.
Also, you're a robot.
Well, I guess I'm gonna
At it
try
again?
again.
Yeah.
All right, so who goes first?
Maybe one at a time this time.
We
right.
didn't fall the entire way down, so we'd probably still be like in the roughly same position.
Okay, so Xander goes first. Don't roll yet, please.
Okay.
So Xander, you go first. You make it about halfway up, get to that tricky spot once more. This time you manage to find a right handhold, continue climbing up, and then about 3/4 up, you're stuck. You can't see a handhold anymore. You're just like, shit. And your strength is just enough to hold on. And you're like now just holding on for dear life with the wind sort of howling past you, and you're like, shit. And Caliphus seems to be coming behind you. Caliphus, you actually do manage, you're climbing a little further to his right. You actually do manage to get past him and are on your way up to the top, and you realize that Xander is frozen and can't continue.
Throw him another rope down.
Sorry?
Is there like the pitons and the rope?
Yeah, but no, there's no rope.
Okay.
There's pitons, but they're not like constantly there. There's just like one piton and a tricky step, and then another piton, and then a couple of yards above that, and then another one. You don't have enough pitons to cover like the whole side.
Yeah. I shout, guys, little help, throw a rope, maybe something.
I sort of like try and guide him, just to like point to where I went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
You can re-roll.
Okay, I'm rolling again. Oh my god.
You try to go for the same handholds as Caliphos is, but you miss, and your strength goes out, and you fall once more, taking another 6 points of damage.
Jesus, guys, this is gonna fucking kill me.
You're now already fairly tired, sort of breathing heavily. And Caliphos, you're up. Caliphos and Agon, you're up.
You want me to roll again?
Before he starts again, Karga is going to grab him by the shoulders and say, "Look, get up the fucking mountain." And I'm going to cast Enhance Ability on him.
Excellent.
So he has advantage. No, he has already advantage, damn it.
So it doesn't really help, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's a shame.
advantage.
That would have been a good thing to use that spell for, finally. That's a shame. What else can I do?
Do you have spider climb?
No.
No. Oh.
But Agon
Have
is
anything
looking up.
else? That
Can you turn into
By the way, you're looking around.
spider?
You are only maybe about 5 or 6 yards under the plateau that is the top of this very hill, and you can see very, very far. For this is a very clear day, and you're pretty much on the second highest spot on the whole island. So you can see the gliding river stretching away into the distance. Far, far off, there is the sea itself. You can see smoke rising where Thornshire is. You can see the whole entirety of Hungier's forest stretching out to your right. This dark green blotch in the distance. You can see the lake of Owl Lake itself, a little bit of smoke rising from there as well. On the other side, you can see the Stormplanes all the way to the horizon.
Okay. If I turn into a spider, I should just be able to get up there, right?
Yeah, spiders have no problem with that. Giant spiders, you're meaning.
Giant spider, yes.
Yeah, I mean, any spider could climb this without any problems.
So instead of doing that, I'm going to say, look, jump on, and then I'm going to turn to a spider.
Okay. So, all right. So
let Xander ride me up the mountain.
All right. Xander leaps onto your back. You extend all your 8 legs and easily start climbing up. And Xander, you're holding on for dear life. It's not the nicest feeling holding onto a giant spider. It's like this clacking monstrosity, half hairy, half spooky, a little bit of slime. These 6 eyes sort of staring upwards. Or 8, whatever. Yeah. It's a giant spider. They're not normal. They can be a number of eyes.
This has been a pretty traumatic experience for Xander.
Yeah,
and
but you make it up without any issues. So the only one standing now is Silas.
Can I just go back down and pick up Silas?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, sure.
I'll just do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just play spider elevator.
Spider elevator.
That sounds like a band name.
What genre, though? Probably some kind of indie genre.
Prog rock.
I was going to say prog rock, yeah.
Okay.
That is a... yeah.
Okay. Kevin, by the way, when do you need to go? Just
probably very now-ish.
okay. Just making sure.
I'll stick around for a couple minutes and get the lay of the land up here.
All right.
Then I'll bounce.
All right. So you are now all standing up there. Well, one of you is crouching in spider form.
Have the guys below? Are they how much have they caught up?
We're all
They
up
have
there.
not
You were the
tried
last.
Probably a lot.
They have
Sorry?
not tried climbing. From
Okay. Are they just staying at the base?
They're staying at the base.
Just waiting.
Looks like it.
Okay.
Can I throw can I get a big rock and just chuck it down at them?
Yeah, but they're not straight underneath you.
Oh,
This
okay,
is
okay, fair
the
enough.
side of a hill that goes up like this.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I mean, we can throw it down, see if it tumbles and hits one of them.
Can I have a look around for signs of flowers?
Yeah. You
I
can.
think we should all spread out.
Yeah.
You
basically.
climb up. The peak itself is maybe about 120 to 150 feet wide, so it's not like a massive area. And you can see there's jagged rocks protruding. There's a little bit of ice, half melted, probably from the night or something. The nights seem to be fairly cold up here. Here and there. There's not much else to see. There's a little bit of ground, a few stones. You start basically looking around, and give me investigation checks. Whoever wants to. And Agon's just going to sit down there with his axe, looking down onto the undead.
Yeah, I'm going to sit with Agon. Can I take a short rest?
I mean, if you want to, sure.
Yeah, I'm going to take a short rest, please.
All right, well, don't roll yet.
Oh,
You're rolling at the end of the hour.
Oh,
start of the
sorry.
hour.
Yeah.
16.
All right. So you spend about 10, 15 minutes looking around, and then both Caliphos and Silas, you spot a little bit of sunlight on water. And looking around, you see amongst the rocks, there's a small, it's really just like a puddle, a large puddle, basically. And heading over that way, you push your way through the rocks, and you can see there is what looks to be maybe about 2 by 3 meters, 2 by 3 yards, sort of large puddle. And that's nearly central on the plateau that makes the top of this peak. And around it, there's a few small bushes and a little bit of grass. And in between them, you spot 2 purplish black flowers. They're not particularly large, and they look like they're closed, like the petals are sort of enveloped inwards, and they have very nasty looking hooked thorns, quite long, about maybe 2 or 3 inches long, disproportionately long for flowers that are only about maybe 10 inches in total.
So I called Karga over when I found it.
I'll come over.
Yeah.
I really kind of want to keep being a spider, but I don't think I can.
You
Yeah,
can,
I guess I'll have to unspider.
Okay.
I'll have to find a different way down.
I mean, we can take a short rest up here.
You certainly can.
Oh yeah, that's true. In
So,
my list of stuff, I have a herbalism kit, but I would kind of assume I'd have that on my belt. But like, if you want to say it's in my bag, that's fine, and I'll just try to.
What else
anyway.
would you have been carrying up?
My staff.
That's it?
I mean, I imagined my staff and whatever was on my belt,
Yeah.
which would be like, money and small crap.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, sure. So herbalism kit shouldn't be too massive. It's like a basically.
Yeah, I imagine it's like pouches and a little cutty thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you
So
can
can I use that to try and harvest without getting werewolfed?
You can try.
How?
That would be a sleight of hand check with advantage due to the herbalism kit.
If it's a sleight of handshake, can I just give the herbalism kit to Sander?
You can.
Because that's not going to go well.
Well, your fingers are sort of fairly thick and slightly clumsy, so you sort of looking at your hands, you're like, yeah, and sort of like get Xander over, who's now just resting, like lying there pretty much, and just breathing in air in deep gulps.
Well, if he's short resting, I might as well short rest while he's short resting, and then we can harvest the thing after.
Sure. You can you go back to Xander and explain the whole thing to him, and you have an hour's rest together, or like 45 minutes since Xander.
While keeping an eye out down below so that we don't nap while they get up here.
Yeah, no, they're not climbing. They will be able to approach unheard or unseen. However, after about half an hour or so.
Sorry, before we go, if we're gonna start taking a short rest at the start of that, is that keep within a mile of us currently?
Not quite. It would be maybe about a mile and a half or so.
Damn it. All right.
Although you can see it quite well from where you are now. You can see sort of its back part, so to speak. Its western part, basically.
Okay. We're gonna try and drop the. I was gonna try and use clairvoyance to look into it from here, but
Sorry, I didn't catch any of that.
I was gonna try and use clairvoyance to look into it from here. But
Oh, is that a mile already?
yeah, it's a mile.
Yeah, sadly, you'd have to get
A
closer.
little bit far away. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
As you are, as you're resting, eventually you hear a flapping sound, and then a figure shoots past you, up into the air. From below, you look up, and you see this large eagle-like form, brown and gray feathers, that is now just circling about maybe 100 feet above your heads. And you can see it's turning its head, one golden eye looking down on you as it's taking a close look. It's very large. Its wingspan is probably about 30 feet, 25, 30 feet. So pretty substantial.
Yeah. It's like giant condor size.
Yeah, basically. Its body is the size of a man. And it has nasty claws on its feet. However, it doesn't seem, at the moment at least, to attack you. It's just keeping an eye on you. And you figure that this must be the bird that you've seen. Or maybe a very similar one, at least.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we would do anything about it. Just keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
Can you shout in bird or no? Okay.
Again, I am
It's
not
not
able to
Tuesday,
bird at the
man.
moment.
Okay. Right.
It's Friday, not Tuesday, all right?
Not speak with the bird there, yeah. All right. So you take a rest, you finish the rest. The eagle keeps an eye on you for maybe about 10 minutes or so, and then dives back down and disappears from sight.
All right, I gotta split.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you'll
Don't kill me.
Yeah. We'll try to keep you alive.
All right.
All right. See you, Alan.
See you.
See ya, Kevin.
Okay, so Silas is preoccupied with the keep. They keep a close eye on it and trying to figure out what's going on, just standing at the edge, like staring in the direction, ignoring you for now. Yeah, you have finished your short rest, so whoever wants to roll hit dice can do so now, or refresh their beast shapes or similar abilities.
0, that's 13. I'm at 30.
How many hit dice do you have left, by the way?
I have none.
Okay.
And I'm still looking pretty rough.
All right. Yeah, I thought so because you had already used quite a few hit dice in the last couple of days, like 2 days or so.
Yeah, I used to load after the
All right.
getting the shit kicked out of me by the centaurs.
I'll cast Cure Wounds on Xander as well.
Okay.
$11.
Not +6. That can't be right.
Spellcasting ability?
No, it's
Oh no, ability modifier. Sorry, I always mix the two up. So it's
I know,
8.
it's right. It's this. Yeah, there's a spell attack modifier and a ability modifier. I know
Spell
it's a bit,
ability modifier.
yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
know.
just so
So
that's
8.
+3. I'm guessing. Yeah, 8 health.
8 looking, yeah.
So you look a bit better now.
Good. Thanks, Cargo. Right. I'll have a look at this.
I'll give him my herbalism kit.
All right. Good time not to roll natural one.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have advantage as you are approaching with the herbalism kit, taking like a maybe small, like a hooked blade, like a small sickle, basically, from the herbalism kit, and like a small bag, fairly thick bag, to protect you from the thorns. And then, yeah, you see these 2 flowers growing at the edge of this little pond or puddle, really.
Purple flowers, are they? They fit the description of the.
They do. They do seem to.
What was it? Nightbane? Was it?
Shadowbane.
Shadowbane. Okay. Deep breaths and lots of concentration. I require absolute quiet.
Like a golf player.
Yeah. Jesus.
16. All right. With slightly trembling hands, you sort of stop and take a few deep breaths and then reach out and with your deft, roguish fingers, slice off the... do you want to slice it off like further up high or further down low?
Up high. I think I just want the flower.
Okay, right. So you just cut off the petals themselves, like the what do you call that? The head or whatever you call that with the flower.
Head of the flower. It's fine.
And put it in without any thorns. The thorns are still on there. And you are slowly backing away. And you feel slightly ridiculous, being like nervous about a flower. But then again, you have heard stories about it. So it might not just be any ordinary flower.
It's a flower that turns people into werewolves. Right?
Write down, whoever wants to keep that in your inventory, 1 Shadowbane flower.
I'll take the other one as well. Do I only need 1?
As far as you know, you only need 1.
May as well take the other one.
All right, then roll again.
Yeah, may as well.
Okay, this time a little more nervous, but with another deft stroke, not quite as deft as the first one.
Yeah.
This time you actually don't quite manage to cut it right, and you actually have like one single thorn with the head of the flower, just a little bit of the stem and the single thorn protruding out from there.
Okay. Carget, how do you feel about this plant? Is it evil? Is it an abomination to nature or anything? Like, it makes werewolves, and I know you were a big fan of the werewolf.
Good question. Would I be? I wouldn't be able to tell, or I might be able to tell with just like an Arcana perception check whether it's like bad magic.
Yeah, you can definitely try. You don't have to touch it for that. It's enough to get close to it. Okay. Well, I mean, you certainly feel dark magic emanating from them, but then again, everything in these hills has dark magic emanating from it. It's just a curse that lies in the whole area.
You know, it's kind of hard to tell everything here. It's gross.
Yeah. Do you want to destroy the plant to be safe, or leave it?
I'd burn it, but I'm not sure about fumes.
Fair enough. Good point.
I don't think evil plants are a cause. Just a symptom, probably. So burning a few plants might not do anything.
That's true. Yeah, I think. I don't know about.
Come on, let's find a better way down mountain.
Yeah.
So we don't have to fight what's their faces.
Could we not take them, do you think?
We still need to get our stuff back, so...
I mean, maybe we could, but let's not risk it, yeah?
Yeah.
I left my crowbar in there. It's my favorite crowbar.
It's your only crowbar.
I can probably find the other way down if you're done playing with flowers, but... I mean, the ropes and the pitons and all that are that way. So if we're climbing on the other side, it's going to be tougher.
That's why I said let's have a look around if there's a better way down.
All right.
Not all sides need to be as steep.
Well, here's the thought. We don't need to go the entire way down. We can go like a bit way down and then just take pot shots at the under things down there and then head down.
Does Silas know anything about, or do any of us recognize anything about the leader? Does he look like just a beefier undead, or does he look like a necromancer, or is there?
I mean, it's hard to say. Silas can relate what he looks like. He saw him, and he certainly thinks he is undead, this creature, but he was wearing armor. He was wearing weapons.
That wouldn't strike you as magical.
Silas would say he's probably not a wizard, but you never know. I mean, there's creatures who can wear armor and cast spells.
If it's
like there aren't
fine, we go back down. Nobody wants to go to the Broken Peaks. When we go to the Broken Peaks, suddenly everybody wants to get in a fight.
I'm on.
Well, turn to a spider again.
Mostly that we're pressed on time. We don't want to waste too much time.
Yeah, it's already about, with the short rest you had, it would be about 3 o'clock-ish in the afternoon. Maybe 2:30, 3.
Yeah, I feel like if we hit these guys hard and fast, we can keep moving and get out.
Yeah.
It's kind of moving too slowly. It's going to draw more. Excuse me.
All right. Well, let's just get the fuck out of here.
Okay, so you're going back the same way, or what's the decision?
I think we'd look down and they're still there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It would not look like they have.
How low down is it? It's pretty far, you're saying.
From where you are at the moment, maybe like 400 or 500 feet.
400 or 500 feet. Okay. I wouldn't mind just getting, if I could get 60 feet above them and.
Yeah, that would basically be the last climb. So the first climb that you were climbing up is like 50 feet. So if you get to there, you'll be about, as I said, about 50 feet, 45, 50 feet above them.
I'll turn it to Spider and I'll bring Xander down to that first ledge or whatever, and then go back up for Silas, I guess.
Yeah,
just to keep us from having to roll a bunch.
Yeah, that is
climbing.
Obviously, it'll take you a while to climb like down and then all the way back up and then down, but it's not terribly difficult for you.
While she's doing that, I'm gonna take the piton.
Wow. Double natural 20. Yeah, Caliphus is nearly as fast as a spider, in fact.
Oh, Jesus.
And
What a time to roll.
who's carrying the 2 flowers, by the way?
Everything back to Karga.
Okay, so Karga has 2 Shadowbane flowers.
There was 1 thorn on one of them. Can I nip that off before giving it to her?
That would be another Slave Hand check.
Okay.
Yeah, easily. No problem. Okay, so 2 flowers without thorns.
Does anyone want to become a werewolf now?
Okay, so Agon falls. On the first, so he just basically climbs and loses his grip and falls down the first, or the top flight. Stands up, looks pissed, and then climbs down the other 2. The second one without difficulties. Sort of shaking his head a bit, spitting out a piece of rock. Damn it. We're leaving the ropes here or taking them? Or the 1 rope anyway.
If we can take them easily, you take them, but if it's...
I mean, so it'll take me a few minutes, but I can get it off.
Yeah, I think we're gonna take them with us.
All right. So I'm guessing Karga is... Yeah, you already said that you're sort of getting Silas as well. All right. So as you are looking down onto the undead now, you can see the leader better. There's about maybe 20-ish skeletons around. Some of them are actually carrying bows, which seem to be mainly made of some sort of bone with bronze sort of mixture. And several of them have arrows notched. However, they have not taken shots at you yet, even though you are well within range. They're sort of in a semicircle around the leader, who's standing right where your rope ends, sitting on his horse. He's looking up, and you can see these sort of yellowish eyes with a little bit of smoke curling out from them, coming from underneath this brownish green helmet that is covering most of his face. He has what looks to be a long sword on his side, or some long blade anyway, and a bow that seems to be made of some sort of black wood or some similar material, like a very large, nearly longbow-like bow tied to his saddle as well, and a bunch of arrows. And he looks up, and as he sees you staring back, he opens his mouth, and all the skeletons behind him let go with this sort of weird singing, chorus, whispering, sort of throatal sound that washes over you for a few moments, and then silence falls once more. And all of you give me wisdom saving throws, please.
I can also get down low. Fuck.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. So Karga and Caliphus, you both fail. The rest of you succeeds. And Karga and Caliphus, you both feel these voices, even though they have stopped now. They're still going on in your head. It's like something of this weird whisper singing has remained with you, and you feel a slight cold trickling down your spine. You both take 1 point of psychic damage as this is happening, and all of a sudden, the voices, this singing turns into words that you can understand, and the words say, the singing ones see you, you who have come into our lands, into our ancient grounds. So both you can understand that. The rest of you has no clue what's going on. You can both, Silas and Xander and Agon, obviously, you can both see sort of Caliphus and Karga reacting to something, but you're not quite sure to what they're reacting. For you, it's just quiet. You do not hear anything.
Okay, nothing more.
For now, quiet, but you still sense the presence, like a faint echo in the back of your head. And then the leader looks up to you, and he says, it's now a single voice, not longer a chorus, even though even in this voice, it sounds like at least 3 or 4 people are talking at the same time. And he says, "Why do you come here? Why do you enter King Colligan's domain?"
Pick some flowers.
Flowers.
Well,
What
yes.
is this?
Karga, could you take out the flower?
I'm a spider.
Oh shit.
I guess I'll unspider and show them the flower.
Okay.
What a waste of a beast shape. Anyway.
Well, you could help two
I'll-
guys get down the mountain, but yeah.
And I will very carefully show them the flower.
All the eyes look at the flower. Pretty much all the skeleton heads sort of turning, looking at it. What is this flower worth to you that you risk the wrath of the singing ones? Surely you must have been warned away from this blackened land.
Well, it's worth the life of a friend and a lot of other people.
Why?
Werewolves. This flower is supposedly cures werewolves.
I know not of what you speak.
Men turns into beasts. This flower makes them not.
Old magic from before the sleep. You come here uninvited. You destroy 2 of the singing ones. We must consider you enemies of King Colligan and all his people.
Right. No chance that we can all just walk our separate ways here?
You have destroyed 2 of ours.
Well, you don't have the best of reputation of killing people on sight.
We kill only when we are commanded.
Right.
Are we quite finished with this debate?
We have time.
I was not asking you that one.
My name is Vocarantus, not that one. You think I chose this form? We lay down to rest eternal, but were called back by one of your kind.
That is very sad for you, but that does not make me more inclined to let somebody kill me.
That one of our kind is an enemy of our kind as well. Though he
Yes.
should be dead now.
Dead, yet not dead.
Right.
So one who calls himself a master of death cannot be easily sent to his resting place. Your people have not finished what you started.
We're getting there, don't worry.
our own. While some might say this is mercy, we still consider it a slight, not easily forgiven. What is it you offer as recompensation? As Wergeld?
Well, we don't have anything of value on us. Do you want the necromancer dealt with?
You think it is in your power to take the eye and destroy it?
I don't see why not. We've done loads of things people claim are impossible.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, I'm so good at these. Yep.
Your skin does not make me trust you easily.
Yeah, I've heard
And
that.
we know nothing of your supposed deeds in the wide-eyed world outside of this prison. Why should we believe you?
Well, conflicts are just going to result in more death.
Death is an old friend.
Look, we cannot make a deal with these people. They have just admitted themselves that they don't control their actions, that they kill when they are commanded. Even if we make a deal with them, they'll kill us the next moment because their necromancer wanted it.
Foolish woman. The necromancer holds no sway over the court of Colligan King.
Then why did you just claim that your 2 singing ones that we killed were only acting as commanded?
They
Probably
did not
commanded.
attack you. You attacked them.
They sent for reinforcement.
Of course. Every stranger must be examined.
Yes, it's funny how none of the strangers you examine ever survive.
When is the last time we killed someone of yours?
When is the last time someone of ours went into the mountains?
People stay away from these mountains because of your reputation.
Yes, and it is good for them.
Yes, because otherwise you would kill them.
Not
Jesus
me.
Christ, why are we having this conversation? 3 seconds ago, all of you wanted to climb down so we can kill them, when I wanted to go another way so we didn't have to, and now suddenly we're sitting down for tea. Is everybody forgetting we're on a schedule?
Yes.
You wish for war.
We do not wish for war.
No,
we
I was
just
forgetting the fuck out of here, but you're not going to let us do that. I cast Moonbeam on the leader.
All right.
I'm fed up with this.
Xander is surprised by the recent turn of events, but will take a shot as well. I think. Has Alex frozen?
No, I'm still here.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
All right. Well, Karga can act. Then we're rolling initiative.
Oh, okay.
So that's
right.
a
Moving-
5-foot radius. I don't know if that hit anybody but the
Well, the horse as well. He's sitting on the horse.
other horse.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
13, big money.
Con save.
Yes, for both of them.
Yeah. That's just against my spell save DC, I guess.
Yep. Yes, indeed. He succeeds. The horse fails.
Okay. 2d6 something damage.
2d6. Are you sure?
Yep.
Yeah, that
Wait,
sounds about
No,
right.
2d10. Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah. I
Oh,
thought so.
right. I knew it was 2 something.
Are you?
Do I roll
casting
2
darkness on
separately
himself?
for
Yeah, this is
for the
this is me
horse
casting
and
darkness.
the guy?
I just put one for both of them.
Oh, okay.
See, I can
Right.
cast
That's half
darkness.
for the guy.
So that will be
Like-
a 13 plus and 6.
I can cast darkness on either my right side or my left side.
So, As the moonbeam shoots out from a clear sky, this silvery flames engulf both the leader and his steed. And he shouts out. And then all the other skeletons raise their voices once. This weird singing, whispering, throatal sound. And they all group their weapons and start raising them. Okay, so let's see what we have initiative-wise.
23.
23 for Kalifos.
I believe I was 13. I believe. Yes, 13.
13 for Xandar. And Karga has 18. Not bad. Okay. Let's see. Silas has also an 18. Agon has a 4. Okay.
Well, it's not like he can do much from up here, anyways.
That's true. He does not have no ranged weapon. Okay, let's see. Skeletons. Have a 19. And
all the skeletons have a 19.
Yup. Okay.
Fucking hell.
Okay, so Kalifos, you're up first. What do you wish to do?
Yes, I'm going to grab my bow and its quiver and just toss it over to Agon and then just shout, "Get down!" and just drop to the ground.
Okay. As you do so, about 10 skeleton archers open fire.
Yep. Oh, fuck. I just... Oh, well, never mind.
You're on the ground, Kalifos, so you are not taking any shots, which means it leaves 4 people, so we'll see.
Do we have any sort of high ground advantage or anything?
Well, not against range attacks, no. You didn't have to take cover as such. Not yet, anyway. You would have advantage if you were to melee attack them with the high ground.
Okay.
Let's see. 2 shots at Karga, both miss. 2 shots at Silas, also both miss. 1, Xander, you take 1 shot.
Uncanny.
Can you dodge range attacks? Uncanny dodge?
I will check it. And
it's 7 damage, 6 damage anyway. Yeah, and that's it. They're not the greatest archers, definitely.
An attacker I can see hits you with an attack.
Then you can. So 3 damage to you, and the rest of the arrows just smash into stones and rocks all around you. Karga, you're up next. The rest of the skeletons, the other 7 or 8 of them, so there's basically about 16 skeletons, but half archers, half melee, start slowly climbing up the cliff. Karga, your turn.
I was muted. Do cantrips break concentration?
No. Only other concentration spells break concentration.
Okay, then I'm going to cast Produce Flame and chuck it at one of the climbing guys.
All right.
And then I'd like to get down on the ground.
Okay.
To not get shot the next time. Ranged spell attack, okay.
Oh yeah, that hits for sure.
And that's 28.
2 damage. All right.
Yes.
Silas. Let's see what spells he has prepared. Not the greatest spells, I'm afraid.
Doesn't he have zip zip? the magic missile?
He does have magic missile.
Yeah.
However, he will instead cast haste onto Xander.
What does haste do?
It gives you a second
an
action
extra attack.
that you can use for an extra attack.
You also move at double speed.
Yes, and your AC is 2 higher than usual.
Oh, nice.
So you feel that like everything around you slows down, and you feel your heartbeat increasing, and yeah, you feel much more nimble and much faster than usual.
Great.
And he will also duck down.
Not super useful on me, but I will take a shot with my bow at the main guy.
Oh, you're the best archer you have.
Yeah,
That's it?
That's has he taken a turn yet?
No.
9 piercing plus sneak attack of 14.
20 damage. Nice.
14 plus 9 is 23 damage.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Right. 23. Oh, yeah. I was looking at the 6 that Karga dealt before. That's why I said 20.
Okay.
So that's... Let's see.
23.
All right. Yeah, the arrow strikes straight into his chest through his armor, but he doesn't seem to be too affected by it. There's definitely some damage, but he's dead. A little bit of an arrow will not quite finish him off as easily as you might have wished for.
Okay. By that I can take he means you mean that he takes less damage from piercing. Would that be a...
Yeah, I mean what I said.
Okay, sorry. I will take a shot at one of the guys climbing.
All right.
And after that, I will just take cover. So the closest to whoever's climbing highest.
One of the skeleton is climbing it. Actually, you hit it and it falls off the cliff and just shatters on the ground.
Nice. And I'm taking cover. Yeah.
All right. Now the...
I may as well hide, in fact.
All right. The leader, Carantus, will... Oh, yeah, roll a stealth check as you are disappearing.
16.
Oh, yeah, that is good enough. He will basically try to shoot at Karga, like indirectly, shooting up into the air, trying to strike down onto her, where she's lying. That's a 16. Does that hit you, Karga?
Yeah.
Okay, so the arrow comes looping around and flying down and stabs into you. That'll be 4 points of piercing damage. And give me a Constitution save real quick. And the second one misses. He shoots 2 arrows at you, but the second one smashes into the stone next to you. That's a success. DC is 10, so your moonbeam is still in effect. And he's, of course, moved out of the moonbeam as well. Agon, you will...
Sorry. I was not muted.
Agon drops the crossbow that Caliphos gave him, grabs a rock, and just like pushes it down onto the climbing skeletons. Yep, he succeeds. And you hear basically two smashes, and then the sound of what seems to be 2 skeletons just breaking apart. Let's push the mountain down on him! That was Agon's turn. Caliphos, you're up next.
Well, I guess I'll just like grab my bow and start shooting. Crawl up to the edge and like get up into a crouch position.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who are you shooting at?
Fucking the leader.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and that'll be a disarming attack also.
Okay.
So-
16 is a hit, yes.
Yes. Strength saving throw.
Mm-hmm. That's a 10.
Ah, not a success. That is
So how much damage is that? 12?
Yep, 12 damage.
All right, and you shoot his longbow out of his hand, basically.
Yeah. Then another shot.
Arrow stuck through his hands, basically. Yeah.
Another shot at him.
Okay. Hits as well.
Hold on. I have a trip attack, sweeping attack, disarming attack. Sure, it'll be a trip attack as well.
He's sitting on a horse.
Okay, well,
But-
never mind. It's not gonna be anything there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that second arrow does not seem to impress him much.
Yeah, and then I'm getting back.
All right. Well, skeleton archers now following the side of the leader, although about half of them are shooting at Agon, who's now standing full exposed. Luckily, Agon has very heavy armor. Even though 3 arrows hit him, they all break on the splint mail that he's wearing. And a couple of them will shoot indirectly, trying to hit you guys. Yes, Kalifos, you're hit by 1 arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Seem to miss. You take 5 points of damage. 1 arrow sort of hits the rock next to you, breaks and ricochets off, but cuts across your shoulder.
Yeah.
And it splinters behind you.
I technically can't have my shield out right now.
No.
So my AC is 16.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Okay, good.
And the skeletons, the other skeletons continue to climb. There's about halfway now. Good, like 5 or 6 of them still climbing. Karga, your turn.
I'm going to. I think it's a bonus action to move the moonbeam, I believe.
Let me see.
No, it's an action. Okay.
Yeah, you
I'll use an action to. Are there any of the climbing ones that are within 5 feet of each other?
Well, let's see. Yeah, there would be. Let's say two of them would be within.
Then I'll wherever there's 2 that are close enough together, I'll move it there.
Okay.
So they have to make con saves.
Yep, that is both fail with double 2s, so both fail. So the 2d10 to each of them. 15. Wow, both of them just burst apart in these silvery flames.
Awesome. And I don't know if I had to stand up for that, but if I did, I'll get back down.
Yeah, you have to see where you're moving the whole thing. So yeah. All right, Silas. We'll just shoot a magic missile at the leader. Ooh, that's 3, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12 points of damage. All right, Vokarantos looks pretty severely injured after this. A magic missile that strikes into his body and through his body, basically. He nearly falls off his horse. We have Xander up next.
If he's fallen off his horse, he's prone, is he? And I would have
really
disadvantage.
He hasn't fallen off yet.
Oh, okay, so I can still shoot at him without disadvantage.
Even twice.
I will do that, I guess. Or the skeletons have taken kind of 2 rounds and they're halfway up, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
There is 3 skeletons climbing. 8 more skeletons are sort of shooting with their archer skeletons, shooting at you.
I'm not too scared of them. I'm going to continue shooting at the main guy.
Yep, go for it.
19.
It hits, yeah. Not a sneak attack this time.
7. And
All right.
I will do the same again. 23, 6, 13 total damage that turn. And I will hide again.
Yep, you pop up, you take 2 shots with your incredible speed, and 1 shot hits him and pierces through his whole arm. Another one hits him and pierces through his face, coming out the back part of his skull. He stumbles, and this time he does actually fall off his horse, but he slowly rights himself back up, still holding himself together.
And I natural 20 on the stealth.
All right. Well, he will pick up his longbow and take 2 shots at where Caliphas is hiding, so to speak. Oh, that's a hit. Despite disadvantage, the second one misses. So Caliphas, 1 arrow flies through the air, 10 points of damage.
Whew.
As an arrow hits you in the leg, like sort of flying over you and then arching back down and nailing you in the leg as you're sort of lying out flat on your on your belly. Agon will continue pushing rocks. Just grab another one, throwing it. Yeah, successfully, and another skeleton is crushed. So there's only 2 climbing ones left now. Caliphas, your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back up, and first off, I'm gonna second wind.
All right. Taking a deep breath, the adrenaline surging through your body. 16.
I
Nice.
think that's actually exactly what I needed to get some activity.
Excellent.
Right. Yeah, and then I'm taking pot shots at the leader guy.
Okay. Misses.
Ha!
Second
Triple
one hits.
attack. No, not triple attack. Didn't disarming attack.
Okay. All right. With that, your arrow flies through the air and it takes him straight in between the eyes.
I
And he-
guess he drops his bow.
And he drops his bow. Yes, indeed he does. And he falls backwards. And you, both Karga and Caliphas, you can both hear this.
Freedom.
And then nothing.
Okay, and the other guys are still walking towards us.
Actually, the skeletons with the bows stop moving. They're slowly turning away. And they seem to be walking off.
Okay.
As if they are called to somewhere else. Now completely ignoring you. The 2 that are climbing, however, are still climbing. And they're pretty fast. They're nearly there. They're only like 5 or 6 feet away from you at the moment. Karga, your turn.
I'll move the moonbeam to whomever of the skeletons, obviously.
The climbing ones? Yeah. All right.
Yeah, the ones that are still advancing.
That is a Constitution save, right? That's a 14. Is that a success? Yes, it is.
So half.
Yes, half damage. Okay.
4.
So 4 damage, all right.
Yeah.
Silas will stand up and just do a cantrip, whatever his cantrip spell is. I think what's it called? Ice, not an ice bolt, ice knife. Frostbolt.
Frostbolt.
That misses, however, shooting the skeleton nearly point blank at the skeleton that is climbing up. Misses. Xander, your turn.
The main guy's down, is he?
Yes.
Okay. I'll take 2 shots at the archers.
So as they are moving away, all right, go for it.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm on the wrong page. Yeah. Bow. That's a
One.
10. Okay. 23. 9.
Okay. You strike into one of the archers. The arrow sort of stuck in his spine, but he just continues moving. Agon leans down with his axe and sort of swipes the axe twice along the cliff, trying to catch both of the skeletons that are there. One of them is caught and just destroyed mercilessly. The other one dodges somehow the axe blow. That's the one that Karga hit, and continues to climb. Khalif, it's your turn.
Yep, I'm gonna take pot shots at the guys climbing.
The one guy climbing.
The one guy climbing.
Yeah, so he's pretty much point. It's now nearly point blank. He's like 7-8 feet away from you.
Okay, yeah. Boom.
Yeah, that hits.
Sure. Do I need
Alright.
to trip attack this?
Sure, if you want to. He's not he's not quite destroyed.
Okay, yeah. That's a trip attack then. So
Okay,
16.
with that he is destroyed. Yeah, as you shoot into your arrow straight into the skull of the last skeleton, who that falls down the cliff and just scattered in hundreds of small pieces of bone.
Oh, that's dealt with then.
And then the skeleton archers just move basically in between the rocks, mostly out of sight now. They seem to be moving east.
Well, that's done. Let's get the hell out of here as fast as possible.
Hey, before more of them show up.
Yeah.
So you climb that last bit, grab your equipment, and as quickly as you can. Do you want to go back the same path that you did before?
Can I
Yeah.
loot anything that's there?
Sure. So the leader, Bokarant, you don't know his name, but the fancy looking skeleton had what looks to be a very finely made, like a breastplate type of armor, basically.
Mm-hmm.
He had a longsword and a longbow.
Is it well-made longbow or anything?
The longbow looks kind of weird. It's made of this sort of dark gray, nearly black wood. You're not quite sure what kind of wood that is, but whatever it is, it seems to have withstood the tooth of time.
I will pack everything that looks anyway interesting and head. So longbow, breastplate.
I mean, the armor is pretty heavy, so if you want to pack that, you will be quite heavily encumbered.
What do you think, guys? Does Silas think it's in any way enchanted?
Let's see what Silas thinks. Where is Silas here? Does he have anything interesting? Identify? Nope. He doesn't have it prepared at the moment. So, where's his? Where are the skills on this character sheet? Oh, here, of course. Arcana. He thinks it is not enchanted. It's very well made. You could probably sell it for a bit of money, but it is not enchanted.
Okay, if anyone wants to carry this. Aegon, do you want it? Aegon?
No need for this. Let's just get out of here.
I take the longbow anyway.
Okay.
I'm also gonna pick up my crossbow and
Yeah, Aegon actually just dropped it on the ground. So yeah, you can pick it up. Yeah. All right. And after, so let me see, 2 hours. You make it out of the Broken Peaks after another 2 hours or so, 2.5 hours. So just like around 5:36-ish in the evening. It's still light, but the sun's already setting. Kiona and her centaurs greet you.
Okay.
You seem to have returned alive.
A little bit of scuffle, but yeah.
I see. The singing ones cause difficulties.
Yeah. Let's be away.
Very well. Do you wish to start down to Old Lake tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better to rest there than out here, I think.
No, we will not reach it by nightfall by any means. It is a good, even if we run hard, a good 6-8 hours from here to Owl Lake.
Right.
And we only have about 2 hours of daylight left.
It's 3 days to the full moon, right?
Sorry?
3 days to the full moon, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we can. Can we risk? I think we can. It would take us 4 to 6 hours, you said?
6 to 8 hours to Owl Lake.
What time would we arrive there then? After dark?
If we run now, we would arrive in the middle of the night. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I think we want to head there. Get a messenger to Thornshire with our stuff, and then we can just rest for the day.
That is up to you. Let us prepare torches then. We have rested. We can run. Your horses are rested enough. Let us go. All right.
Okay.
And you leave the Broken Peaks behind, or this area anyway, following all the way down the western flank of the peaks towards the Stormplane, towards the Grey Run. It takes you about maybe 2.5 hours or so to reach the Grey Run itself. The centaurs know a very shallow place where you can easily cross. Down, you are now on the southern side, and basically continue skirting around the Broken Peaks. After nightfall, one of the male centaurs carrying a torch each, one like running in front of you, one behind. And you are tired after a day of fighting and a day of riding and not much sleep. So you are sort of shaking your heads, trying to stay awake during this hard ride. But most of you will be still fairly awake as you can see Owl Lake approaching in the distance. There is not much light as it is very late, maybe 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. However, there are torches burning on the walls themselves, on this small wooden wall surrounding the village. You can now see in the torchlight of the torches that the centaurs are carrying, you can see fields passing by on both sides as you're running down a road now, basically leading through the fields towards the village itself, which is only about maybe half a mile or so away from where you are at the moment. And then you approach the gates, and the centaur stop about 100 yards or so from the gates and say, and Kiana turns to you and says, with this, our task is completed. We have brought you and your horses to our lake. We will rest here and return to our people in the morning. I expect we will meet Arutei and his warriors when we are heading back. Is there any message you wish me to tell him?
No.
Wait for us. Come to our lake, I suppose. We'll meet them here.
Of course.
Yeah.
That is where they will meet you.
Yeah.
I think they will probably wish to stay outside of the walls. Our kind does not like your kind's settlements, but they will make their presence known in one way or the other.
Yeah, tell them to maybe talk to the guards and bring us, maybe. Yeah.
As you wish. I cannot guarantee what Arutei will do, but I will carry your words to him.
Yeah.
Good. She looks at you, sort of nods and says, I hope you find luck. May the spirits be with you in your fight against the darkness. I believe if what the shaman says is true, and Teguska is rarely wrong in these things, that we will soon fight side by side against an even greater threat to these lands. Try not to die before that. We will need you.
We will try our hardest.
She sort of gives a little smirk and a nod. And they turn around and seem to be heading a little away from the village, probably to make some sort of camp out in the fields or in the grasslands beyond the fields. They're leaving you and Agon behind 5 tired figures on tired horses. And 3 o'clock in the morning, not far from our lake itself. The 2 centaurs have one of them has just basically stuck his torch into the ground next to you. The other one has taken his torch with him.
Okay. Approach the gates.
All right. You can see your coming has been noticed already. There's 2 men with bows and spears standing on the wall, which is a fairly tall, very well-preserved wooden wall. surrounding the whole settlement. And they look down, look at each other, and say, one of them shouts down, "Who are you? And what are you doing so late here?"
We're on urgent business. We're personal friends of Shaylee. She can vouch for us. The party with the
personal friends creeping in at night like thieves.
We're the
thieves. We're approaching the gates. Well announced.
we're the slayers of the Owl Lake beast. Lars knows us.
I recognize the tiefling. There's not many of his around, the other guy says. Fair enough. I'm just doing my duty. Sorry about that.
Yeah, all right, lads.
You say you're in important business. Is there any danger?
No danger to you.
No immediate danger to you, no.
Right, fair enough. We'll not supposed to open the gates after dark, but I suppose we can make a exception for you. Give us a moment. And they both disappear outside.
Calling us thieves? We're approaching the gate in fucking broad. God damn it.
The gate swings inwards. You lead your horses inside. The one guard who said he recognized Caliphas gives you sort of a nod. A blonde fellow with a bit of a beard and points at Agon and says, "Don't recognize this one."
He's a temporary companion.
Agon just gives him like a grunt. I don't like his manners much, but if you vouch for him, I suppose.
I'll flick them both a silver, by the way.
They both sort of catch it, a little surprised. Give you a nod. Many thanks.
Good night. Hope it's quiet.
And they.
Is Lars about?
Probably not
Sorry,
awake.
What do you say?
I asked them if is Lars awake?
Lars, he'd be asleep by now, surely.
Okay.
Yeah,
fair
he's
enough.
here.
Well, you can tell him we're in town, and I wouldn't mind having a drink with him.
Probably
All right.
in the tavern.
I suppose the snoring eagle's closed now. Do you have any place to stay?
Nope.
Good point.
The stables are open. You can always catch a nap there until the sun rises.
Yeah, we'll do that.
We'll let the mayor know that you're here when she wakes up.
Actually, do you have any messengers? Is there anyone who would be willing to?
No.
Let's talk about that later.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking that they could organize it for morning.
What kind of messages?
We need someone to just take a small to Thornshire with great haste.
Well, they look at each other. The other guy sort of shrugs. Says, "I suppose you should probably talk to Master Stoutarm about that."
Oh fuck! All right.
He's the only one who really sends people to Thornshire with any frequency.
Okay. Thanks. Good night. We'll head to the stables and.
Okay. Yeah, you come to the Snoring Eagle Tavern. This you've been here before. Very nice tavern owned by the mayor, Shaylee Two-Stream, older halfling woman who you have also met, and who also has some magical powers. You ride into the stable. The stable is closed, but you can open it without any problem. It's not locked or anything. You put your horses in there, and you basically hit the hay. You literally hit the hay and lie down and catch a few hours of sleep, basically.
Cool.
Until morning. And so it's like 3 o'clock. So you you get about 3 hours of sleep before the village around you starts waking up, and you are woken from your slumber by the sound of people walking around the streets and talking, and a young halfling coming into the stables and stumbling about a bit, giving you weird looks, and then moving back out like with a donkey that was also there.
Xander is sleeping like a log. He's wrecked after It's a rough couple of days.
Khalifa's being used to basically sleeping intermittently, probably.
So you guys want to stand up, or you want to just keep sleeping in the hay?
I'm probably gonna stand up, but I'm not gonna wake the others if they don't wake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Karga, you still asleep?
No, I'd have woken up.
Okay.
And I
so
kind of
Karga
feel like
and
we
Khalifa
should
are awake.
maybe arrange the messenger and then sleep.
Also, buy a room.
'Cause, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can. So Karga and Khalifa walk into the tavern, but the rest of you are still asleep. Agon sort of woke up briefly, gave the halfling an angry look, and then buried his face back into the hay. So you walk in, and you can see there's a young halfling woman, not the mayor. Mayor's older. Just must have just opened up. Basically, she's just like taking like chairs off of the tables, putting them onto the ground. As you are coming in, she turns. Good morning. Ah, you're the beast slayers, aren't you?
That would be us, yes.
Right, I recognize you. The mayors will be happy to hear that you're back. She should be around in about an hour or two. Take a seat. Can I bring you anything, some food or anything? There's nothing quite ready yet, but maybe a drink.
Well, just some water.
A little
please.
early for me, but do you have any rooms available?
Yes, we have about two or three rooms for now. Yes. Do you wish for any?
I think we'll take all of them.
2 rooms, of course. I'm pretty sure the mayor would probably slap me if I try to charge you anything for that. So I'm just gonna give you 2 keys. She walks up to the bar, grabs 2 keys, and gives you 1 each. There you go.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course, it's the least we can do. However, the food and the drinks will cost you. I'm afraid that we can't quite afford to do everything on the house. Is there? So, do you want any food or drink? I can boil you a couple eggs.
Yeah,
some
please.
cheese, cut
Yes,
some
please.
bread.
Sounds
course.
great.
Just for the 2 of you, or the other 2 gentlemen?
They'll come in if they want food.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Take any table you like. As you can see, you're the only customers for now.
Right.
And she disappears into the kitchen, quietly humming to herself. So you sit down, sort of rest a bit, and then she comes about 15-20 minutes later. She comes back with a couple of boiled eggs, like some cut open sausages, some cheese, some bread, putting it out in front of you. Don't worry about paying for now. You'll deal with that with the mayor. I'm sure you will want to speak to her, right?
Yeah.
Right. I'll let her know as soon as she's here. Enjoy your breakfast. Let me know if you need anything. And she heads back, basically. So you had just, basically spend an hour or so waiting, drinking a bit of water, maybe a bit of milk, having breakfast, and then eventually Mayor Shaley shows up and sees you sitting there, comes over. Gives a small nod, sort of pushes her sort of brownish gray hair out of her face. Welcome. I'm a bit surprised to see you. When did you arrive?
Last
Far
night.
too recently.
Last night, indeed. Well, must have been late. After dark?
Yes.
I'm guessing I didn't see you yesterday evening.
Well, we
Oh.
arrived maybe 4 hours ago.
Oh, I see. That late.
Yeah.
So, can I do anything for you, or are you just...
Well, we
That's
actually have an urgent matter to attend to.
She grabs a chair, sits down. So, well, there's no one here at the moment who requires my attention. There's like 3 or 4 other customers by now having breakfast, but most of the inn is empty. So we can talk.
Yeah,
What is this about?
We need someone to take something and bring it to Thornshire very fast.
We talking like a small cargo, large cargo?
Small cargo. Cargo has its...
Very small, but very delicate.
Yeah.
Delicate as in easily broken, or what do you mean?
Delicate as in not to be touched.
Is it dangerous then? It's not
We
alive.
don't know. Well, no. Well, it's a plant. It may be
plant,
poison.
yes.
It's a poisonous one, though.
Well, I mean, I suppose that's not too dangerous as long as the messenger doesn't try eating it.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
It means that
We just need somebody reliable who will go there fast and not get distracted on the way and take the pouch and the letter
Right.
with instruction to
that
the temple.
rules out like at least 80% of the male population here. So you want to get this done quickly?
Yes.
Yes, within 3 days. No, 2 days now. It needs to be in Thornshire within 2 days.
I see. Well, that's possible. The trip is a bit dangerous. We've heard some problems.
Sorry, cramp in my leg. Oh, fuck.
Well, the trip isn't terribly dangerous. However, we have heard that the hunting villages have had some issues recently. I suppose I can send someone. So you say this is very important? Do I need to know what this is about in more detail?
It would be discussed.
It is a cure for a very time-pressed ailment to a friend of ours, and we are currently unable to go there ourselves because we have pressing matters south.
I see. Well, not to be indelicate, but can you pay for this type of thing?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Excellent. Then, well, I'll tell you this. I'll send one of my girls. They're clever and they're reliable. And maybe about two fellas along with her, just to keep her safe.
Yep.
On the road. That's 2 days up to Thornshire, 2 days back, plus food and such. Let's say say about 10 gold. Sound fair?
Yeah.
Is 2 days enough on our time schedule? Out of character, I'm mathing badly today.
It needs to arrive the night before.
The day after tomorrow is the day of the full moon, or the night of the full moon, I should say. So
So if they arrive the morning of that day, then it's fine.
So basically, if they leave now-ish or within the next couple hours, they'll probably be in Thornshire by tomorrow evening, which is basically 1 day before the full moon.
Okay, good.
It's very important that they arrive before nightfall 2 days from now.
I'll be all right. I understand. This is a urgent medicinal thing. Of course, I'll take good care of that. So just give me the cargo and the money, and I'll take this out of your hands. I'll try to send someone who can leave within the next couple hours. Is that early enough for you?
Yeah, so long as they arrive before nightfall.
Should be fine.
Yeah.
We should write down some instructions for how to.
Yes, they can carry a letter if you wish them to.
Yep.
Let me go organize that. So
Wonderful. Thank you.
Give her 10 gold, and she walks off with it.
I've taken 10 gold out of my pockets.
Okay.
And I also asked for her to bring some parchments.
Yeah, she has some parchment brought to you, and you write down a quick instruction, what you remember, basically, what Teguska has told you about the tea, basically, this herbal concoction that needs to be made from the petals. And you write all that down, and she comes back with a sort of youngish halfling girl and 2 human men who both seem to be members of the militia. One of them looks a little sleepy-eyed, and she says, "Those are the 3 that will take your letter. Martha here is very reliable, so you can trust her with that. Is there any messages that you want her to carry for you that you don't want to write down?"
No, I don't think so. Just that it comes from us.
Right. That should be fine.
Yeah.
Xander is still asleep during this. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So Martha says, "I'll do my best, sir and madam. You can rely on me. By tomorrow evening, this whole thing will be in Thornshire."
Excellent.
Wonderful. Should we go wake them up and tell them that they can sleep in beds now?
Probably.
All right. So you head into the stables. You wake up your companions, and you basically grab all your stuff, and carry them up to the 2 rooms that you have taken now.
And we tell them that we've arranged a messenger and stuff.
Okay. Silas seems half asleep. And yeah, Agon doesn't look like he cares much about the whole thing. Okay, with that done...
Yeah. Also, I think I wanted to deliver a message.
Sorry, you want to do what?
I wanted her to deliver a message for us.
Who?
The delivery girl.
Oh, Martha. Okay, yeah. Sure. To Thornshire, and like another message, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically for Hadley to journey with them back to our lake and meet us there.
Okay. Yeah, she says, all right, I'll hunt this young man down for you. Yeah. Shouldn't be too hard, I hope.
No. I'll give her the name of the tavern he's staying in. Yeah.
I'll find it. It's that large of a city. I've been there once or twice. Is there anything else? I'm happy to leave within an hour or so.
Nope. That'll be all, I think.
And then, as I said, you can rely on me. I'll see you in a few days, I suppose. If there's any issues or anything, hopefully not, but still, I will leave a message with the mayor, and she will tell you about it. If in case you're not around when I return. Does that sound all right to you?
Yep.
Excellent. Well, I better be on my way then. A good day to you. And she heads off.
Yep.
All right, and with that, you have the day in our lake.
I think we're just gonna fucking rest the entire day, basically.
Sleep.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
you do catch up on some sleep for sure. So you'll probably spend at least the morning catching up on sleep. And then, yeah. So you can regenerate all your health points and basically having a long rest now. And
half our hit dice is it?
Get 3 hit dice back.
3 hit dice. Okay.
Yes.
And my second wind and my superiority.
And all hit points,
Yes, all hit points, 3 hit dice, exactly.
And then I need to take a
Feeling
bath.
a lot better after that sleep, guys.
Well, we'll end it here anyway. So it's about like early afternoon or so. Or let's say mid-afternoon. And you are basically have woken up after a long sleep in, having lunch, and basically finished a long rest.
Great.
And yeah, and then next time you're getting ready to meet with your centaur allies and probably leave maybe the day after or something for the obelisk. It is, after all, as I said, the day of the full moon is the day after tomorrow. So if you leave tomorrow, it'll be a day early, pretty much. But that's, of course, up to you, and we'll see. Hopefully Silas will be with us next time again.
Yeah.
And yeah, then we'll see what happens at the obelisk as the full moon is coming closer. And with that, we are finished for today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for playing, and we will see you around. Bye-bye.